following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
They must have hired Axel to bust Ichigo out of Hulu jail on this episode of Toonami Faithful Podcast. I am their host, Sketch. Welcome, Lum and JP. Thanks for joining us. We have some exciting stuff to talk about this time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
New things are coming to the block.
Yes. New old things.
What's old is
Yes,
new
very
again.
Wonderful. Indeed. And of course, we have our weekly Lazarus recap, and also Toonami played a musical presentation. It was an hour-long, rather fun event. Ginger Roots Shinbangumi. We mentioned it on previous podcasts. And it aired last night, and we'll talk a bit about it. But we should start things off with Lazarus.
The news.
No, we're saving the news for last because we're going to talk about that the longest, I think.
Okay,
You're
great.
probably right.
Well then, yeah, let's talk about Lazarus. So this recap is brought to you by the ReviewGeek.com because Kuro fucked up and I couldn't access my notes, so I will be giving credit to someone else's, but I'm still reading them in my lovely voice, so I'll take credit for that.
Thanks
So
for letting us know what's happening.
Yes. keep at it. We love the puns. Keep them coming. Episode 4 of Lazarus starts with confirmation that minors were strictly prohibited from using Hopna. Thank God. I was actually a little concerned about that myself. However, it was a massive craze in the underground scene, and all it took was one single rumor for it to spread like wildfire amongst the youth. Hopna is a drug that can get rid of sadness. Dealers soon caught wind of it, too, and subsequently started selling it at jacked-up prices. This certainly works to explain how this managed to become such a widespread problem. I guess when you make a regular drug a designer drug, that tends to happen.
Well, not only that, but a drug that can cure sadness of any kind, like so many
that's
people
gonna have an effect.
really
Aren't they
covet
called
that.
antidepressants?
Antidepressants, like, kind of reduce some strain on your mental health, but not all of them work for everyone, and they do not get rid of any underlying sadness.
They help balance the chemical.
They balance the chemicals, the hormones that can lead to depressive mental states, but they're not. That doesn't mean that it gets rid of your depression completely and it makes you not sad.
Well, then
I'm believing Hapna can do the same. If kids are using it to get high, then I would imagine it does the same thing as maybe a minor opiate or major opiate. I guess would do. So it's not really curing your sadness. It's just giving you a false sense of euphoria.
Yeah, but people chase that if they want an escape from the sadness they're feeling.
Anyway, back in the present day, we learn that Dr. 909 is the world's most prolific hacker, and thanks to Elena, he has been located. There's been a lot of payments made to his account, and suspiciously occurring right before Skinner's big speech about Hapna. 909 sold off a bunch of stocks and seemingly worked with a stock investor called Sam Stevenson. So we're using this to track him down because Elena's very smart. So it could well be that these two are in connection with Skinner himself and potentially helped him disappear. While Elena monitors the wallet and notices that physical deposits have been occurring at multiple drops across the world, she also checks cameras where it would appear that this is the same person making the deposits from physical ATMs. But
very sus, as the children say.
Either way, Elena gets ping on a new location for transaction, which happens to be Babylonia City, which I still love. I love that as a name of a city. That's just so fun. It's actually quite close to where everybody is located now, too. Oh, what a coincidence. Let's just make things easy because we're running out of days. The rest of the group head off to find this Stan Stevenson character. He's lived a pretty lively social media lifestyle presence, etc., and definitely has a preference for attractive women, and doesn't seem to hide his misogynistic tendencies. Oh, goody. Because we love
real finance bro manosphere type.
Yeah, so attractive. He throws a party every weekend where the attractive women join him in the VIP area. So naturally, that's where our femme fatale is showing up. Her name is Christine. However, Leland is also dressed up too and looking sharp.
This poor guy.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what Sam's into. Gotta have something.
Yeah, you gotta cover the bases
over here.
Well, yeah, they have to play the field. What if he's into literal kids?
This is Ginro energy all over again.
Leland's pretty sharp. How old is he? Like 16?
Yeah, he's a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, so now this is becoming more sinister.
This
is getting weirder.
Duelist commented
it
that
only
he
gets
thought
creepier.
Duelist commented that he thought that Leland in that outfit kind of looked like a Studio Ghibli heroine.
Oh gosh, I could see it. I could totally see it.
The dress has that like kind of flowy quality in the design.
I just gotta say this episode has fantastic character animation. Everything was so smooth.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Great, just lighting, compositing in the club too. I love the vibe it creates.
Oh, I love the club vibe.
Yeah. Oh, I love the lighting in the club.
Yeah.
In the club, Doug decides to split the team in half to try to get Sam into a secluded area so they can talk. However, that is easier said than done in such a lively environment. After all, this is also Sam's spot, and his security is heavily armed. And on top of everything, they need a digital tattoo in order to gain access to the top area. Axel, of course, because he does what he wants, manages to gain access to the tattoo, and Leland is shy and understandably struggling to show himself, given him his dress up, shall we say. Eventually, he calls on Doug to help him out. Seems wise. I don't know why.
Come dance with me.
Yeah,
and can't you dance? Of course I can dance.
And Doug stands out in not a good way, kind of an embarrassing way in how goofily he dances.
It's cute. It's a cute scene. It's a cute scene.
It is.
Doug is also a big stick in the mud throughout most of this.
Yeah.
Someone has to be.
But he makes it leads because he's the straight man. It also means that there are these comedic moments like him dancing, like the face he makes when he's like, "Oh, we don't know what kind of character this guy is," and they watch the video of like it's on social media, and they all react in disgust.
Oh, I love that.
My favorite moment.
That's the reaction image I keep using.
Yeah.
Doug has dad vibes.
He does.
For sure. I also like. So they gotta look like couples, right? So Chris and Axel walk in looking like a couple. They're just like, we're gonna.
Well, they're
look
not
like
trying to look like couples
couple.
because the girls need to be picked up. Like that's the plan. Is like the girls get attention so they get invited into the party. Because the point is like this guy, you know, he's sleazy. He wants attractive women. For well, we'll see. But
we'll see. But there's that moment where Doug and Leland are like, okay, we're gonna hold hands, I guess.
Kid. Anyway, Sam shows up at the club finally, and interestingly enough, Leland is the one who's grabbed and taken by Sam to someplace private. Oh shit. Sam admits that he likes people that are innocent and pure, and this is just getting worse and worse.
Oh,
No, it was the
Oh,
DJ
Sam,
who
that
thought that.
DJ guy.
The DJ, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's still
The
pretty...
DJ guy's the
It's no less
pedophile.
awful, but
It's
there,
still a
there
little
were,
cringe.
There's two
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The way he talks
unfortunately.
about, like,
Yeah.
Oh, this
and-
DJ guy was all like, "Oh, I don't care about music. I just let the AI do all that."
yeah, it's not even a real artist. He just lets AI do all the work and takes credit.
Oh gosh, that just says so much.
This show is not topical at all.
I mean, that's
Oh.
a real, like, that's
Not
the
at
truth.
all.
That's what Sam does too. Is that he just lets his AI algorithms do all the like market stock trading prediction thing and profits off of that. Like
Yep.
these guys don't actually like invest any actual like effort or intelligence or creativity into what
women,
they do.
apparently.
Ugh.
That's pretty-
Ugh.
Yeah.
I guess other than like putting up this facade to attract women.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
guy.
To
mm-mm.
drug them.
Yeah,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to drug and be frank, like rape them.
Yes.
And, like group
Yeah.
rape.
Yep. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, they were getting ready for the gangbang.
They
I
should have just let
definitely
that guy drown.
did not see that twist coming in this episode. I
I
mean,
didn't
it was,
either.
It got
This
gross
show's not
quickly.
pulling punches.
No.
Sure as hell not.
No, thankfully the drugs didn't have an effect on Chris, who manages to subdue the creep and push
Yeah, that
him
was very
off
satisfying.
the
The
balcony.
beatdown she gives,
Mhm.
he gives him.
Yeah, beat down being completely deserved. Yes. Ugh, yuck. Yeah. Also, hey, we learned that this superstar DJ named Visionary is actually 909. So he's
Yeah.
he's gross in a lot of ways. Let's just put it
Mhm.
all together. Axel, throughout all this, has gained his digital tattoo, but now at this point, it's pretty pointless that a gunfight has broken out, and amidst all of this. So, well, of course
they
it
got-
does.
Technology that they can just copy that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use their own like digital like tattoo scanner things to steal the info from some other guy so that they can
Mhm.
pass the security. But like obviously the security knows, well, there's not supposed to be any dudes
Just
that
follow a
Sam or
drunk
whatever
guy into the bathroom and
invites.
assault
Not-
him.
Take
Yeah.
his tattoo.
Hey man, that's not cool. You don't beat up a guy on the toilet.
Look, I thought I was watching Lazarus. Apparently, I was watching an episode of Law and Order instead. But hey, here we are.
But then again, this guy's probably a creep just like the rest, so deserved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This guy meaning 909 or the guy in the bathroom. Yeah.
The guy in the
Yeah.
bathroom. But 909, yeah, he's a
definitely
piece
a creep.
of work. He's
Yeah.
a piece of work. He's a clever
Yeah.
piece of work, but he's a piece of work nonetheless.
Yes. Gunfight has broken out. Sam and 909 now try to escape through helicopter because all these skeevy rich guys have helicopters. But
They're
they're
one of the
stopped by-
helicopter people.
Yeah. which none of us are. None of us are helicopter people.
Nope.
I don't lie though. I wish I was a little bit.
I guess it wasn't
Oh.
Elena, but the way that the AI assistant on the helicopter talked, I was like, is that Elena hacking? But I don't think it
No.
was.
The
I
AI
think,
just has like
I think
kinda
the AI was
The
just
voice
being like,
acting.
nope, I can't
blunt
do that.
responses. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
at the very end, it was like, I told you.
Yeah, that was fun. It has some sass.
The
We
sass
love
in it
sassy
was-
AIs.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
no,
Yes,
I can't do that.
I can't do that, but then it would go beep boop.
I
beep,
can't
boop.
let you
no.
do that, babe.
To use a recent reference, no, my tribal chief, I can't do that.
Axel just runs off the building and grabs onto the helicopter because, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
Soleil in a previous life.
Some real Tom Cruise stuff.
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt stuff.
She jumps onto it as it's flying away in this spectacular move. I mean, it wouldn't be an episode without Axel doing something cool
Yeah.
like this. Like that's his
Mhm.
jam.
It's his
This is-
thing.
That's That's his brand, and we like him for it.
He also got like a goblin glider that looked like, Duelist noticed this, it looked like a mini swordfish.
Yeah. And
Spike ship.
Leland is there with his drones.
Yeah.
We love Leland and his drones, and manages to help out getting the helicopter to crash, which by the way, outside of anime land, that would have been like deadly for hundreds of people.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh
saying.
yeah.
Didn't
Anime
Yeah, it just
logic.
landed in the water.
lake
Yeah.
in the river.
Well, how convenient, leading to
Mhm.
so the helicopter crashes, and Axel then asks the pair about Skinner, and supposedly they're just as in the dark as everyone else is about his whereabouts. Who besides me didn't believe them at that moment? Like I was.
I didn't.
No, I don't think
I
they're
didn't
smart
believe
enough,
them.
and I don't think Skinner would hang around with these people.
No.
Doesn't mean they
what
don't
Absolutely
know
not. No.
something. No, but that doesn't mean they don't know something. I feel like they know more than they're saying, but they only managed
I
to get
don't
ahead
think
of the
so. I
Stonks
think they
According
just
to
found out
them,
about everything.
because they hacked some data from some place called Delta Medicinal.
Yeah, a pharmaceutical company.
Yes, it always comes back to pharmaceutical companies.
So there you go. Somebody at some pharmaceutical company knew that Hapna was bad news.
Indeed. Pharmaceutical companies being shady? No, that's also unrealistic. I can't believe that.
I can't believe the helicopter people would do that to us.
Yes.
back to the conversation that we had over the past 3 weeks about this, that why would they have released this drug without a proper trial length? Why would they give it FDA approval? Well, hey, there's some pharmaceutical shenanigans happening here that certainly would explain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's
it was
more
just my little
conspiracy
tinfoil
of
hat.
who maybe knew about this would let this go anyway because they could profit off of it somehow. Like in this chaos that has been caused by Skinner's revelation, there's like these guys, there are people profiting off like all the chaos that's going on in the world. So,
Sinister than that too. I
Oh
have a
my
feeling it's gonna get worse.
gosh. When they're like, well, somebody's going to find a cure and then we'll make a ton of money. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Like
Wow.
that's their line
I
of
think
thinking.
I think it's definitely more to this part of the story. But anyways, after getting the hacked data, Axel helps get Sam, Stevenson, and Dr. 909 arrested for the insider trading. I mean, that I feel like that's the very least thing you could have arrested them for.
yeah, for sure. The
just
insider
saying.
trading, it's amazing that they were able to do the insider trading without getting caught before.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Corruption, no doubt.
Essentially, what we've learned through this adventure, as with each of these episodic adventures, is that they have no further lead on Skinner. All they know is Delta Medicinal knew about the dangers of Hopna in advance, and maybe they have some connection to Skinner, and they're probably the next best bet for the next clue. So we get cut to the lab, and we see a chimp inside a cage collapsing, confirming that yes, the Hapna the Hapna deadliness is likely very real. Well, it is real.
So much for the theory that Skinner was just lying. Seems like it's pretty deadly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, that's just awful.
What these monkeys were given is different from what the actual drug distributed to the public was.
True.
Still possible.
True. Still possible.
Still possible.
I think that they're still missing information. I mean, just the fact that we're getting a little trickle. We're not getting a fire hose, so we're getting a trickle of information here. As they scrape away and track down the clues. But I'm actually, aside from the helicopter shenanigans, I'm actually very curious to see where we go with this conspiracy from Delta Medicinal. This seems like this could be a really interesting revelation, story wise. What do you guys think?
Could be.
I agree.
I
like
think
there's more people involved besides just Skinner, and so it's going to be interesting to see like how all these different kind of players who have an invested interest in both the distribution of Hopna and in this crisis and what they might gain out of this crisis, like how those pieces are going to come together.
Say, for such a short series, they sure are taking their time and giving these characters sort of archetypal roles rather than deeper story and character development. I feel like if it's like a 26 episode series, then that works. You can take that pacing, but for half that length, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to mean they're going to have to start hitting the ground running pretty quickly in the last half of the series, which I don't like it when pacing changes like that. I like things to be fairly even paced. So
we probably
Same.
aren't going to get deep character arcs for any of the Lazarus team, but we get insights into like their pasts and kind of their states of mind, particularly around Hopna and how they've kind of thought about Hopna over the last couple of years and what they think about the situation now and how to as it applies to their lives, and these opening like credit like monologues every character gives in each episode. Like this episode we got Elena talking about like her as a kid, how she got interested in Hopna and like what it meant to her and like what she thought about Skinner, and kind of a hint of like what she thinks of like what the situation is like now. So that's kind of like
looking
the
for
most deeper we're
Yeah, but
getting right now. Hopefully we get more later, but I think like the real focus of the show, honestly, is that it's structured around like kind of these action set pieces and then this thriller narrative. So it doesn't really seem that character focused so much as like around like kind of the action moments and then just unfurling this like mystery and this story.
I think the mistake people make when we talk about character development is we associate it primarily with a background or history. That's not at all what I don't actually care about that as much as this group of people, this Lazarus team interacting with each other. How
Yeah.
how the character development would be the way in which they develop together as a team, the way they work together, the way their friendships form or not form or whatever. That's the part that interests me because it is called Lazarus. So the title infers that it's about this team and about these specific people. Obviously, the journey of finding the cure is like the platter in which the plot is served, but it's called Lazarus for a reason. So I just want to see more. Like it doesn't have to be deep background. I'm not looking for history on why Axel's went to jail and why he's able to do all these crazy stunts. I don't care about that. What I want to see is like how he works alone with Leland. Like are they forming a friendship? Are they forming some kind of thing, or like Elena and another character, or the Doug and Leland moment that was cute. Like I want to see those character interactions between the team. I want to see those friendships develop, or enmity if they hate each other. I want to see that happen. That's the part that I like, because if I think about like Samurai Champloo, what made it so fun to me was how quirky it was. You see like
The
like
character
Fu.
dynamics.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
character dynamics between each other, like Fu
That's why I
and
love
Mugen
Shampoo as well.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Same with
exactly.
Depot.
Like you don't really know about Mugen's background, how he learns to fight with a sword, and it's not really relevant. What's relevant is like his attitude and how he acts in certain situations, like how he can be a jerk one moment, how he'll rescue Fu the next, and like the funny L aspect of it. And I'm just using it as an example because it's another Watanabe title, and that's all. And I kind of feel like with the pacing of this, maybe
It's very slow.
maybe it's not.
The action's fast, but the story is slow.
The action's great. They do a good job of building a compelling story, and they're doing some really interesting action sequences. And I like the way they use the camera and the action sequences. I think they're doing the 360 work is great. That a lot more anime are adapting this to their to their shows. I'm glad to see it. I just, as far as like storytelling goes, I just want to see a little bit more character dynamic.
I'm right there
I-
with you, and that's kind of where I'm getting. The show is good, no question that it's good, but it feels like it could be great, and it's kind of sitting just short of that. With the
Poorly
character
so.
focus or lack thereof being one of the problems.
Yeah.
When we do get character moments, they're actually very good, but it's spotty.
Yeah.
I like this
Yeah.
episode the most out of the ones so far because this is the first one where all the team is kind of doing a mission together. I mean, Elena's still like back at the base, like doing the investigating, but the other four members are like all like in the same place, like doing this mission of like trying to like get close to Sam and find out what he knows. And that led to like again the fun interactions between Doug and Leland and Axel and Chris, and moments with all four of them. So I like that a lot, and I kind of hope that they don't separate the team off into like pairs and different locations and have them all like kind of together on these missions going forward. This felt kind of the most Bebop-esque episode 2 in like just this mission to get close to someone to like capture them. Like it felt like, oh, this is something like I could see the Bebop crew kind of pull in terms of going, incognito in disguise at a club to get at their target. But I think I agree though that there isn't like a lot of character development so far in terms of like the characters haven't grown and we don't really see how their interactions with each other is changing them as like individuals or like really them forming super deep friendships so far. We're also only 4 episodes in, of course, and even though this is only a 13 episode series, it's probably something that will take a little more time to get at. I don't know if necessarily within the first 4 episodes of Bebop, Dandy, or Champloo, you could really you necessarily was like, oh, these characters have a really strong connection. It's something that kind of grows on you the more time you spend, like more episodes, more time you kind of spend watching these characters, and then you go back and then you kind of see the seeds of like, oh, here's how a connection is starting to form between these different characters based on what we know about them from the whole context of watching a show. So it's still a work in progress, and it remains to be seen where it goes. But I'm hopeful that they start doing more with the characters and their interactions with each other in the team.
Any final thoughts about this episode?
I love seeing jerks get what they deserve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Taking down crypto using AI bros. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
And of course, they're
Absolutely.
also misogynist, awful guys that try to rape women. They deserve every awful thing that happens to them.
It's sort of like watching One Piece and going, "Oh, Caesar Clown, you poor." Oh wait, not you poor. I remember what you did.
I know what you
Yeah.
did.
Kind of messed up. They kind of just let him go, but hopefully
Yeah,
he gets
well,
what's coming to him whenever he comes back into the story.
they get into jail, but definitely could have done more. So
Well, that's not as bad as letting
We-
Frieza off into
we've
space
determined
to conquer parents.
that Dr. 909 was not involved with Skinner, but Popcorn Wizard is still out there. So they're probably the next person they're going to try to find. And maybe Popcorn Wizard was the one that was watching Belinda and saw Axel and Leland over the camera. And also, we're now an episode and a half since that pill that Chris found was mentioned, and they didn't follow up on that at all yet. Will
I
they
think
ever
it's a
follow
red
up
herring. There's a lot of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, I think they go back to that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll come back to it down the line.
on it? Perhaps. But yeah, I thought this episode had really great character animation. Really nice looking episode. quite enjoyable. Very fun.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Anybody else have
Yeah.
any final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know some of us watched this, but Toonami did play a nifty 1 hour musical presentation, Shinbangumi from the band Ginger Root. And I would sum this up as 80s Japanese UHF.
Yep, I
Yep.
completely agree with you. And
So-
all the greatness that comes with that.
Yes, absolutely. It's got mixed media. There's all kinds of quirky stuff going on. It's really interesting that there's some characters that speak in Japanese and they have subtitles and others that speak clear English.
Well, that's the world that it kind of is based on Ginger Root's own like cultural background in like being a Japanese American. And so he has in this world that is, part Tokyo and part like LA. It's kind of a fusion of the two.
Mhm.
And it's like 80s LA, 80s Tokyo mixed together. And so yeah, you have characters in this world who just speak Japanese, and then other characters speak English, but everyone understands each other. And it's that because Ginger himself is bilingual, and I think it's an interesting way of presenting a world and creating kind of unique worlds through the cultural like mishmash, and
I like that.
just based on his own like experience, like growing up and being engaged in both of these cultures.
It's a really cool combination of cultures.
I like the way he describes himself. The singer describes himself and his band as aggressive elevator soul. It's like, yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah,
Aggressive elevator soul. I like that. I like a lot of indie music. I like mixed genres in my music and sounds. So I get excited when I get to hear creativity like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like the 80s aesthetics in it. I mean, they really nailed it. I'm a real big fan of that kind of style, art style. They really nailed it. And they gained a new fan with me.
The kind of color grading.
As soon as I saw that video, I got to check out these guys' music, man, because these guys are like they killed it on this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be listening to more Ginger Root music. It's good stuff. Kind of a little bit Daft Punk, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And in that respect, it does. Yeah, definitely city pop. It kind of is reminiscent of Interstellar 555.
Yeah,
much more so.
It's
UHF.
Oh yeah.
Because the story, as simple as it is, the guy, he's talking to his manager, and he shows her this anime project that he's working on. And she's like, no, we're not buying that. This is what you're going to do. You're going to make a sequel to the popular thing that you made. And he's like, well, I don't want to do that. He says, well, if you're not going to do that, you're fired. So he gets fired from Juban TV. And then he goes pirate radio. And makes his own content, his own channel, and
Just radio, baby.
Just gathers a group of like a few studio people, a janitor, and a paid intern, and just
janitor. This is UHF.
Yeah, and they go live for the first time, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't think we'd make it this far. I don't know what to do." But it just happens to be the case that he does come up with one idea for a show, and it is oddly successful, and this causes the big bad head of Juban TV to be like, no, this is unacceptable. We can't have this going up against us. We have to get rid of this. So he tries to get the manager lady to take care of it, and she's not successful. So he fires her. She has to go work a day job. And then he tricks the guy into giving up the rights with an unfair contest where he just wants an opportunity to play his music to all of the Juban TV watchers, and if he gets enough people watching and voting for him, then they'll play his show on Juban TV, and if that isn't the case, then they just get the rights to the show and he gets nothing, and they're like, well, you cheated, but that doesn't matter. But because they're in the studio and not very well guarded, they get untied and they go and play a show in the middle of one of their other shows that's being recorded.
Some kind of a romantic drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play the final episode of the show that they were making. And then it turns out this is all something else that he's pitching to his manager, and the manager's like, no, that's terrible. That doesn't that
Like
actress doesn't even look like me.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a summary. Also, in the show, within the show, there's a giant robot fight. So
I love that.
It's
Gotta love
about
that.
it starts off and it's like, oh, it's a show about a Sukuban band, and then they play the end of the episode, and it's like, and then they all team up, and it
Why
becomes
is
a
it
Sentai show with
a
a giant
young
robot.
lady's? What is a young lady's modesty is rock? Or rock
Yeah,
is a young lady's modesty?
Rock is a lady's modesty set in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that they clarify this is 80s Japan and 80s America, kind of half
Mhm.
combined. I
Yeah.
love that. That was such a cool idea.
San Fran, Tokyo. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. And I love that it's, it's a model city. And then when he's driving around places, it's just a little car model.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It's fun. It's really fun. It's all very fun. And if you haven't watched this, you should absolutely check it out on Adult Swim's YouTube. They got the whole thing on there.
Yeah. The live action outdoor scenes were actually filmed in Osaka, Tokyo, too. So that's
Oh,
how
wow.
they really evoke that, oh, this is Japan. And Osaka's a little more of a rural area than Tokyo, so you can kind
Right.
of get a period piece kind of vibe more easily there.
Mm.
Also, the fact that this is called Juban District, it's a clear Sailor Moon reference.
I was thinking that the whole time.
It's a little Sailor Moon doll. Even though Sailor Moon didn't air, it sort of still aired.
There's just no, I mean Sailor Moon. Oh yeah, and this
In the
on this
Juban
night,
District
because
aired, at least.
Sailor Moon, a plushie showed up, yeah, and
Yeah.
also Evangelion because Ray was there too.
Of
Also, a
course.
bookworm plushie that I had as a child. I was like, wow,
Wow.
people still have that.
That's super fun. Super duper fun. Yeah, it's great, and the music's great, and
Oh, yeah,
all
the
throughout
music's
it
very
it
good.
Yeah.
cuts to various music video segments. So
Yeah,
it's a fun.
I'd actually
musical
never heard this
experience.
band before, but I quite liked them.
yeah, he's been doing his thing for. I mean, he's been on YouTube for 15 years, and he's been doing his music for, the past 8. And this is actually his second kind of music video film, based on his album. There's actually a sequel to his previous one was called Nise Mono, and that actually introduced the character of his manager and him kind of becoming this narrative of him becoming kind of a well-known musician. And so I watched that just earlier today, and that's a lot of fun. And so these are all uploaded as kind of little segments, the individual videos, and then the skits in between on his YouTube channel over the course of a couple months as he's releasing the album, doing his tour, and then they're all compiled together. And he actually did release Shinbangumi, this this film in 2 parts on his YouTube channel like a few months before this. And the only cuts I think between like the versions on his YouTube channel and the one on Adult Swim is just like some credit stuff and some rearranging or like a streamlining of kind of the transitional material to fit it into like just to cut it from like I guess total 51 to 48-ish minutes.
Isn't
So,
there like a
yeah.
longer version of the animated segment?
There is that the longer version is like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, it's actually just 1 minute. I was looking at the wrong thing because like that
Oh.
intro whole opening segment of like him showing the video and then like him getting fired was 2.5 minutes. But like the trailer for the anime itself, it was just a minute long.
Oh, okay. So maybe the whole thing actually did play. Didn't realize.
But like he did an earlier music video that had like a lot of anime scenes in it called "Everything's All Right." So that trailer is kind of like spun off of that of that music video and the anime clips and ideas shown there.
Oh, okay. Now the thing that his manager was trying to make him make a sequel of is that a reference to something in particular?
Yeah, it's his previous album.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh.
I was wondering that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was fun.
Do the popular thing again.
Do the popular thing again. No,
It's
I want to.
nice to see something like this on Toonami because it's something different, and it was good.
Yeah.
This is some classic Adult Swim feeling stuff.
Yeah, early 2000s
Yeah.
Adult Swim. I totally see it.
Yeah, I will actually go. Feels like something that comes from like the 90s MTV era.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Just a correction. It wasn't an album, but it was a song, a popular song of his.
Oh, a popular song.
Okay.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Now, I didn't watch the Toonami recording of it, but I did see when they posted on Adult Swim, and something caught my eye, and I don't know if this aired on Toonami, so y'all can probably help me on this. When they did like the commercial breaks on the
Eye
Adult Swim,
catches.
yeah.
Yeah, those really reminded me of Adult
The
Swim
old-
action days.
Yes, it does. The old
Totally.
Tokyo Pops. Yeah, that was cool.
At first, I was like, "Oh, they're just doing those kind of things instead of Toonami bumpers." Like, no, we got Toonami bumpers
Yeah.
for every commercial break. We got a Toonami bumper. You love to see it.
Yeah, I love it when they go back to their roots once in a while.
Their roots, their ginger root.
Waiting for that one. What do you think the chances are of seeing more multimedia events like this year, just in general, in the future?
I don't know. It seems like something they could literally pull out anytime, but they don't produce these sorts of things that often.
Yeah, Adult Swim didn't produce this because Ginger produced this on his own on his YouTube, and this is like kind of a re-edited cut made for Adult Swim. So I'm actually interested if like who reached out to who to air this on Adult Swim and Toonami. But I'm glad they did.
Yeah. Definitely seems like something Adult Swim would like want to have something to do with.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I hope they work with Ginger Root and do more like multimedia projects with him.
Maybe Ginger Root was like, "Hey, I like Toonami. Can we put this on Toonami?"
It doesn't have to be them. I think just in general having more creative blocks of different media, mixing in music has always been kind of a staple, and then now having done this, I think they can say that they can experiment more. I mean, we've always wanted to see like more film on Toonami, and in the past they've even been creative with that, not just like bringing in, random DC Universe films, but like actual, you know, avant-garde animated films. So I like the idea. I think it's just such a great avenue. The block just is such a perfect audience to be able to receive different experiences, and I think most people are generally who watch it are open-minded enough to give things a try. Like, of course there's a percent of the population that are, but we're not catering to them. We're catering to the people who are here to like for the Toonami experience, and this fits in with the Toonami experience. So in general, I like to see more elements like this, especially if they need stopgaps, rather than bring out more fooly cooly failures. They could bring out something like this.
I
Sorry.
think they
Ooh,
work with
speaking
more
of
That was a little
artists.
Fooly
Like,
disrespectful of
there are a
me.
lot
My
of like
bad.
anime-inspired musicians and
Yeah.
Yeah.
creating great videos and animations. I think it'd be, music is an integral part of Toonami's identity.
Yeah.
Music
Mhm.
videos too. We
Absolutely.
had like music videos there during Naruto Shippuden a lot for a good stretch there, maybe a few years. They did like that. I don't know. I don't remember if it was like part of Toonami. I think it overlapped with Toonami, the Run the Jewels event they did.
The Run the Jewels
Uh,
event did overlap with Toonami.
Overlap, yeah.
Yeah, but
But it didn't have
things.
Toonami bumpers.
Yeah, that's a shame. But still, like things like this, like they could easily do. I think like a night of animated music videos, anime-inspired animated music videos, from different really interesting artists would be really cool. And I think they could look into doing something like that, or just continue to seek out like interesting projects like this that people are creating and say, hey, we'll give you a platform and opportunity to expose it to the Adult Swim Toonami audience. So it was really cool that they aired this, because of they aired this, like I found out about Jinjiru. I think all of us here learned about their work for the first time, because Toonami's aired this. And so yeah, I think this is a great way to kind of collaborate with different artists and creatives, and kind of have this mutual relationship of airing really interesting things on the block and getting these artists' work to a whole new audience, and just more eyes, more exposure.
Yeah, I've been asking for another Midnight Run special edition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this will probably open the door for that. Probably like a one night only, like around the summertime. I think it'd be perfect for that. So yeah, I've been wanting a special edition so bad, and hopefully this opens the door for it.
That would be cool. And yeah, it'd be just fine by me if they threw this on in the extra DST hour one of these years.
There you go. That's
Probably
a good
later
word
this
for
year.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, could. It'd be a little uninspired if they just tossed it on this year, but like maybe next year.
I don't know how long their licensing deal with this will go.
Oh, that's a good point. So yeah, maybe they'll do it this year. Of course, it's readily available on YouTube in multiple places, so maybe not. But it was a fun thing for Toonami to do. And we love fun. We love fun.
We do love fun.
Yeah.
And looking at
fun.
future schedules, I kind of wish that they maybe saved this for a future week, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess we could have had this and other things like this instead of another marathon.
Instead of another marathon. So let's get the bad news out of the way. It's not that bad, but it is a little meh that before the schedule kicks into overdrive, we have 1 week of stalling with the Lazarus marathon. There's still a new episode of Lazarus, and then they replay all 6 episodes to fill the rest of the block, which is Yeah, fine. But I was in the Swimpedia Discord days before the schedule was released. I was like, I feel like they're going to do a Lazarus marathon to stall. They're like, nah, come on. Why would they do that in the middle of the show? Called it. Okay, so remember last year when after Ninja Kamui ended, they hit us with 2 weeks of Ninja Kamui, just 2 marathons.
Yeah.
I wonder if what they're going to do this time is split it up so you have this early marathon, and then at the end of Lazarus, they run the last 7 episodes on 4th of July weekend. Believe it or not, I believe is the time that would happen. It times out, I think, perfectly. Oddly enough. But yeah, it would have been kind of neat if instead of this, they played Lazarus and then Shinbangumi for the next hour, because both Common Side Effects and Blue Exorcist would have ended, and then hour of One Piece, Naruto, Sailor Moon.
That would have solved. They wouldn't have to change anything else.
Would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. Why didn't they do that?
That is the question.
Oh well. Giving people a chance to catch up on Lazarus isn't the worst thing. Also, if you didn't know, Lazarus Japanese language is available on Max now. It's like a week behind the dub. That's
I
kind of
think like
whatever.
they only have the first 2 episodes right now, and then they're gonna release the next episode like every week after.
Yeah. So at the time they put up the 2 episodes. Episode 3 was the latest dub episode. So if they added episode 3 today, I haven't checked.
What? No, I mean episode 4 is the one added today, so it'd be like
I
2
mean
episodes.
the Japanese episode 3.
I thought they just added it. Let's see. No, I don't. The Japanese audio isn't on Max for episodes 3.
Oh, okay. So, either they'll add it on Thursday.
They just added, yeah.
It was like Thursday that they added, or Friday that they added the first 2 episodes.
Well, yeah, just this past Thursday, and I think they're gonna add the next episode every Thursday of the Japanese audio dub.
Okay. Well. Yeah. Well, so that's the meh news. But oh boy, the May 17th schedule, and I accidentally said May 18th in the tag to the previous podcast. Technically, I'm correct because the shows are at 12:30 and 1, so they are May 18th. The May 17th Toonami lineup, ladies and gentlemen. At midnight, Lazarus. At 12:30, Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War.
Yeah!
Wow.
It
feels like 1,000 years since it started. No, I'm just
it's been 10,000
years. 3 years. But yeah, it's great. It's finally here, and the final part of the 1,000-Year Blood War is going to come out probably later this year. So if they don't take a break, they can probably play it through, without stopping, because
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I'm not counting on that.
I wouldn't count on it either with the licensing.
The 24 episodes. Or the 25 episodes. But the hits keep coming, because 1 a.m. Blue Exorcist Kyoto arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a very happy Kuro Kitty.
Oh my god. So happy. Like, legitimately, I am happy. This is gonna be amazing, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, you're gonna love it. It's great.
You're all in for a treat.
It is.
Her and I have been hoping so much on this one.
It's both lasers and my. Well, I thought it maybe I'm imagining.
I'm
that
not
it
sure
was
if I
your
like it
favorite.
more, or if I like the last one we talked about on Silent of the Saints more, but
This-
this one's really good.
I am more or
It's
less up
definitely
to
up there.
date, and this is still my favorite arc. It's very good.
I still need to watch the Blue Knight, but soon.
I'm making my way through it. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
But yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we can only guess how much Blue Exorcist they actually got this time around, but if we got Kyoto.
Why would they
Honestly, I'll
get
take
it
that.
and then not keep going though. I feel like there's enough time here to play Kyoto and then move on to season 3, which is
With the
is
Shimane
the
Illuminati arc, yeah.
the Illuminati arc. I think like even if they did a break, which I can't imagine why they would do that, that'd be silly. But
Well, maybe they want to play Mashal.
I would
Yeah, they
love to see
still-
Mashal come back, not gonna
maybe
lie.
Mashal could
season
come
2.
back after Lazarus is done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is
Still have
also
the
a
most recent
possibility.
season of Demon Slayer.
Aniplex coming in clutch.
Sakura.
This is such a good thing. Like I feel like we were really having an existential Toonami crisis here with this lineup.
We were.
And part of my concern was like, I really hope you didn't bring back Blue Exorcist just to drop us after season 1.
I was
But
so
they
worried
didn't.
about that too.
They came through.
Oh, that would have been devastating.
Yeah, and
they came through.
and even more so, like it's funny because I feel like a lot of people, I've not been caught up with Bleach proper because I wasn't interested in when it was playing on Toonami. At the time, I was very selectively watching the show, so I didn't watch it. I've only been rewatching it in recent years and appreciating it, as an adult. So now I'm gonna have to rush to catch up so I can understand what the hell's going on in this arc.
Yeah,
my
if
God.
anyone that needs to catch up, it's all on her.
But it has
A lot of
been
episodes.
talked about for so often, and it's funny because this 1,000-Year Blood War was aired initially in 2022, right? So we've had 2.5 years, 3 years of people, 2.5 years, I would say, of people complaining like, why doesn't Toonami get this? And then I think everybody just kind of gave up in the idea that it would come. So it really is such a curveball. It's such a curveball, and it really fits so nicely. Like I feel like this is the most old. This is so 2014, 2012 Toonami vibes. I mean, come on, isn't it?
This is 2014. The
It
sequel.
is. It straight up is.
We got a new Watanabe original. We got Bleach. We got Blue Exorcist. We got One Piece and Naruto. This is 2014, the sequel. The only thing that would make this more 2014, the sequel, is if they like completely blew our minds and pulled Roberta's Blood Trail out of nowhere.
It's funny, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, I miss Black Lagoon.
2014 was a
And
really
still
good year
airing
too,
Kai,
so
I
this is a
guess.
good time.
And that's a lot of episodes too, because Bleach is this arc is, to my understanding, it's got 4 cores. They're 13 episodes each, so that's like
Correct.
52 episodes.
Yeah.
That
if
could
we get
take
all-
us.
Yeah.
That's going to be well over a year's worth of Toonami, and provided that they do the same with Blue Exorcist, if it makes sense to do that, that's also 3 more seasons of 13 episodes each. So that's, will be like 30 something episodes. So like this is a smart move. They paid for something that's got longevity, and people will stay tuned to watch it because, maybe a lot of them haven't. Like I haven't. Though I watched Blue Exorcist, but I would totally watch it again because it's awesome.
Well, now I want to do a quick bit of Bleach hype here. 1,000-Year Blood War is the best Bleach. I'm not even kidding.
I've heard that it's darker. It's a little
It is
darker, which
much
says
darker.
a lot because
It is
Bleach
much
definitely has a
darker.
dark turn.
But it's also really well
The
done.
production values are so much
Oh,
better.
yeah.
It is the best directed and animated season of Bleach for sure. Now, I to be honest, I've only really interacted with the seasons through clips of certain moments because, as someone who read this arc in the manga, it wasn't so good. But from what I heard about like how they have been adapting it and refining,
They've basically
the storytelling,
director cutted
Kubo's
it.
involved. Yeah, Kubo's involved in at the point they are where they stopped at the end of the last season. Under normal pacing, they wouldn't have enough to fill another season, but because the ending of the manga was rushed, because like Kuba just was exhausted during that time. Like there's the opportunity to flesh out that part and really expand it and like really bring it together in a way that it just couldn't.
I'm really hoping that this
So I
leads
am
into
actually really
more
excited
like
to dig
Can't
into
Fear
it.
Your Own World or New Breath from Hell. I want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, there's Burn the Witch.
Yeah, Burn the Witch is also there,
So,
but
you know,
there
maybe
is
Kubo
more
will
Bleach
turn to
material.
that. And there was like, yeah, there was a one shot that
Yeah, that's the
Kubo
New Breath from Hell I was
created
mentioning.
that like sort of, yeah.
But there's also the
so that
light
could
novels, the
be
Can't Fear Your
supported.
Own World.
Yeah, that focuses on Hisagi. Though that's a series. That series of books could like become like a 1 core, 2 core.
Nah, this
series.
is just
Yeah,
me
so it's predicted for
hoping.
more
Like, there's
people.
no
Yeah.
analysis on it, but I would love to see all of that adapted. And with that one shot, maybe you can go forward with it. I mean, the Bleach is kind of in a renaissance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work for it. I'd like to hear
Definitely.
JP and Steven's thoughts about the lineup update.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me the full on
You
this
got it.
one. I'm about to be
It's
on my
yours.
I'm about to be on my funk. I'm about to be on my Funk Master Flex tip right now. I wish I had some bomb sound effects right now. I'll be spamming it right now. Bleach is back, baby. We're here. Toonami's back. Toonami's the GOAT anime, the last real anime. Sorry, John Cena. This is the greatest anime of all time. There ain't no big three, just no big me. There ain't no big four, it's just big Ichigo. I'm so happy that they got this thing back on the block. It's been 10 years. Man, I'm so ecstatic, man. So yeah, that's my thoughts, man. Let's
Toonami's
get it,
back.
bro.
Would you say Toonami's back, bitches?
Hell yeah.
Back from the grave, Toonami.
Guess who's back?
How did we go from like 1 show in premieres to 2 to 5 episodes in premieres?
I think Paul might have been onto something. We said they got their budget back.
Well, they could have been
I have
saving.
other
Yeah.
theories.
So there's still a lot.
They
of
obviously were
planning.
saving for Bleach.
Yeah, I mean they were waiting. I think when it was just new, it probably commanded a higher premium to acquire. So waiting now, like again, 2 years later, the cost of acquiring it probably.
But this
went
show
down.
escaped Disney jail.
It
Yeah.
did.
That is wild. It is unbelievably wild that they got a show out of Disney jail before getting a Crunchyroll show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what does it say
Yeah,
that
that's
they could? Disney is more willing to work with them than.
Now, I do want to stress, I'm
Crunchyroll.
pretty sure Viz holds all the cards here. After,
Yeah.
like, Disney
Viz
has
has
an
the master
exclusive
license.
window, but I
Yeah.
think that window has, it's ended. It's been 2.5 years since this first batch. So
Yeah, and I've also heard that Disney is kind of more open to having their shows be aired on television now.
well, yeah, Family
I
Guy's
think
on like 3
yeah.
other channels.
Yeah, I think the Family Guy, Getting Back Family Guy probably opened the door for this. I do believe Fizz is kind of still the main leader of getting these deals done, but I do think Disney kind of give Toonami a break for once.
Maybe. And if that's true, oh man, there's some great anime on Hulu. I would love to get more.
Summertime
coverage.
rendering. Let's go.
Yeah.
Summertime rendering Heavenly Delusions. They're
I wonder who
so
they'd have
good
to
and
go-
nobody watched them.
It is a shame. I wonder who they have to go through for that. Like, would they have to contact like Disney directly, or go to the studios who
Yeah,
make
who
those
knows?
shows to make those
I don't
deals?
know. I mean, Production IG made Heavenly Delusion. If Toonami has a phone
Yeah.
contact with anybody, it's Production IG.
Yeah.
You would think. But yeah, there's so many other ones like Sandland, Loser Ranger. I think the probably the most sensible and easiest get is probably Undead Unluck.
Yeah,
I think
that would be a
Viz
great
is
fit.
somewhat
Oh, Viz
involved
is
in
the
that
license for that.
one. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
for home video.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think they might have the master license for that then. So they
And
maybe
like,
if that deal ends, that
I'm
Toonami could
gonna
get that.
butcher this name. Yozakura Family. I think that's MBS actually,
Mm-hmm.
not like and Disney got it from MBS. I'm not sure, but the, like, if they can't get Crunchyroll shows, how great would it be if they just filled it with Hulu shows that nobody watched? I'm down. Let's go. Summertime
I
rendering
mean,
and
that's a
Heavenly
great use
Delusion.
of Toonami.
They would
It's
be
giving us stuff we haven't seen.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even these two shows, which
Yes.
do have a solid following, I feel like this is still a smart decision marketing wise because both of them are still
Oh, yeah.
going. So, what a great way to reinvigorate an audience by reshowing the semi new content to get like, look, this
Mhm.
is still going. We still have a couple new seasons on both of these titles. You know, maybe people have dropped off, maybe people have like not, you know, they it's stale or whatever, for whatever reason, bringing it back and say, let's start from the beginning. You watch Kyoto arc, you can watch Thousand Year Blood arc from the beginning. Like, I feel like this is a really smart marketing decision from both of their perspectives, from, you know, purchaser being Adult
Mhm.
Swim, and then from Viz or Aniplex or whoever they're making the deal with. So, and though I have to say,
Mhm.
even though we got this great lineup news, this still doesn't fix the lack of communication y'all have with us. Come on. We have some work to do there.
Oh, but they said something. They said something fun in the schedule update. They said this our May lineup's pretty lit. I'm like, okay, you really gonna say that and not include Fire Force? Get out of here!
Yeah,
Get out
there's
of here!
they've got a little
But-
ways to go with, you know, I mean, I don't know if this means they've listened. Maybe they were testing the audience for something like Kyoto. I know for sure people have been asking for Bleach for a
Mm.
while, but I just don't feel like we're making incremental progress, but we still got some ways to go. So it would be nice to get some better communication from them still. But doesn't mean I'm not happy.
Yes,
I am
definitely.
happy. This is great news. This is going to be a really on fire lineup, and it just, like you said, it's such a 2014 throwback. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean Bleach, you know, it carried the return of Toonami for like a year before they started getting some other high profile stuff. And
Yep.
it was always a very successful and popular show for Adult Swim. So it's great to see it return. You know, much like Inuyasha, you know, it's really good to see that Bleach, the story of Bleach, will conclude on Toonami. You know,
Oh
after all
man, I
this
think
time.
a lot more people care about the fact that this is happening than May.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's a separate matter.
That's a
That was
separate matter.
disappointment.
yeah.
May.
But like I said, I'm just happy. I'm just happy Bleach is back. It carried Toonami, the return. It carried Adult Swim since 2003. You know, we're back in the vibes, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I don't think anybody was really expecting Bleach to show up
No,
right now.
not at all.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
we just didn't know the situation of whether it would get out of Disney or when it would get out of you know, the Disney Hulu exclusivity window. I mean, but you know, Sailor Moon did finally after like 10 years just on Hulu. So, you know, maybe that's a reflection of like these particularly Viz's deals with Hulu. Like these exclusive windows are really shorter now, and so we can get more stuff from Viz that have just been on Hulu before now on the block. And also, you know, there are some other stuff that is like not that Viz has that they could have. I mean, talking about Yaiba, so be interesting to see if that comes to the block at some point.
Yeah, I was kind of
But,
thinking Yaiba would be what would happen, but we haven't even heard anything about a dub for that yet.
Yeah.
So. I was holding out just a little bit of hope for a Yaiba dub premiere. Just a little hope. Alas, not the case, but it definitely would not be surprising if, you know, after they run out of Bleach, they're like, okay, here's Yaiba.
Yeah.
You could
I
say
mean, one
definitely a possibility.
shonen show with swords to another.
Right? Well,
Yeah,
we
super
have
tough
two
choice.
shonen shows with swords.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also both dealing with like the afterlife and
Mhm.
hell and
Oh yeah,
those kind
Bleach
of
and Blue
themes.
Exorcist are an excellent hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very fitting. Again, it's just unfortunate that they couldn't wedge Fire Force in there somewhere. Like that would have been great.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
But
will
we're
in the
still
near
fairly
future.
confident it's on its way. Because like it was news a while back that like someone found that Adult Swim or
Yeah, I think
whoever
that's
was on the
just
production
an
committee.
inaccurate report, but
Um,
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, there's
First thing that should end
Well,
in this
fingers
lineup
crossed.
is either Lazarus or we still have 2 episodes of One Piece for I don't know what reason, but I'm not complaining.
Well, there's a lot of One Piece, so they're not really
Yeah,
in
I think
danger of anything.
the past 2 years they were kind of strict with like we will only play 50 episodes of One Piece, and if it's doubled up now, it gets off the block for a few weeks. But that does not seem to be the case this time. I think they got some extra episodes. Which, hey, if that's one of the only things they spent money on this year, I can't blame them. Seems like it's really hard to make deals for pretty much anything.
I'm curious if Naruto and Sailor Moon will stick around past the end of May, because Rewind started end of May last year, and
Yeah,
I don't know
I would
how
think.
long they licensed these shows for.
Interestingly, Naruto has continued up to episode 57 on the Adult Swim website.
But it
That
hasn't
is
updated since then, because that was a few weeks ago. I got up to 57.
Okay, that was up. Oh wow, that was a few weeks ago. Okay, I think that's all they have then.
Yeah.
Which it might stick around, but I hear Sailor Moon's already has episodes that are leaving on demand.
Oof.
Yeah, there's only 2
Oh,
episodes of Sailor Moon on demand right now, so
Oh,
but the hope is if Sailor Moon the first season leaves, maybe fingers crossed they just replace it with Sailor Moon
We've been
R.
asking for that for a while
That-
now.
Oh yeah,
that would be great.
I'd love that.
I'd love. Well, clearly now they're finally using their money. They went 5 months without buying anything, so it's nice to see them, opening the pocketbook finally.
I was mistaken. Adult Swim has all the episodes of Sailor Moon season 1 still. I think I was thinking of a different show.
Well, yeah, we'll see with Sailor Moon. Like they had a perfectly good opportunity to just stop it right here, but they didn't. So we'll see if it makes it into June, which is only a few weeks after this. We'll see. But the
At
good
least if
news is
Naruto leaves, it
Naruto
would be,
has
like,
made
right
it
at the end of
to the
yeah.
end of the Land of Waves.
Yeah. At least to finally aired all of that. Just skipping it on Rewind.
That's all I wanted. Honestly, that's all I wanted. But if they could hold on to Naruto as back of the block material, that would be good because obviously they need such things.
It's a good back end anchor because it's Naruto. People like Naruto.
Yeah, people watch
Yeah.
Naruto.
Me.
And
Watch Naruto.
these episodes of the Land of Waves are so good.
Yeah.
Haku and Zabuza fighting Naruto and
Mhm.
Sasuke. Oh, so good. So good.
Classic stuff.
Great moments.
Peak Naruto.
Hmm.
I think Steven didn't get a chance to talk. Steven, what are your thoughts on the lineup?
Hey, I'm still here. I'm just yeah. I was throwing stuff up for the stream chat. So when you guys talking about Bleach and Blue
I did
Exorcist,
notice that.
yeah, I'm
Very
throwing up
interactive.
trailers.
Good job.
Yeah, throwing up trailers, showing the schedule, what it's gonna be. So I'm interacting on that side. So
You're up in your
that-
game.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I mean, was I excited when it was announced? Yes. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. Because yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm happy that they got that. And we got some new shows on there. Bleach is fun. I think I remember what was it? I think opening 13 of Bleach when it came back on Toonami, I just keep. I have that song on my phone, so it's like that's the only Bleach theme that I remember and kind of know. Blue Exorcist, I'm kind of a little more excited with that one because it's a, like Kuro and everyone else said, it is a bit of a continuation, so we can see what goes on with this season 2. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I am fearing that they blew the budget on these 2 shows, which, I mean, hey, if you had to get shows, it's good enough to get these shows because they will generate more eyes on Toonami to say, hey, you haven't watched this, watch it now with us. That would be me. That would be someone. I don't traditionally seek it out. I
Me
knew,
too.
yeah, I knew Thousand Year War was coming back. Well, it was announced and then coming back. I knew Blue Exorcist, that with that too, but I didn't go to seek it out. Right, I would see maybe clips because I follow people on Twitter and X and everything for that, and so you would see clips on there. It's like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Or when I do the social media, I would always just type in Bleach, and it's like everything with Thousand Year War, and I'm like, please, just give me the old stuff. I need that stuff, not the new stuff. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I do fear that maybe they did the whole budget, or it reset enough that they said, okay, we can have that many episodes of these shows. My lineup, let's say if this goes right, Bleach and Blue Exorcist move up about an hour. They move up to the 12 and then 12:30 slot. Lazarus reruns go down to 3 a.m. with everything staying the same. Maybe Fire Force if they would do that, but I don't see that happening as of yet. Maybe they could get a new
either.
show, a cheap show or something like that. But I'm just some armchair.
Mashal?
Yeah,
You bring back Mashal.
I'm just some armchair person who just does social media. So what do I know about these things? But yeah, I'm okay with it. Am I excited to see it? Yeah, I never seen it, so it is fun to me. Aside from that, that's all. That's everything that I have with these things. I have no connection with it. It's like if they showed something like from a tokusatsu show, like Kamen Rider, or some Super Sentai, or Garo, or some animated thing with Garo, because Garo had 3 animated shows.
Yeah, Garo had
I would-
several animated projects.
I would be like super excited about that because that's something within my genre of something I like. But I'm happy with Bleach. We got a Power Ranger who voices Ichigo, so
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Yep,
that. Yeah, so it's fun. I do want to see the length of where this goes. Maybe a couple months down the road, will we be having the same talk again like last time of, the block is stagnant, it goes like that. It feels kind of like whenever I hear everyone talk, you guys and that, it feels like the stock market, right? It feels like, oh no. It feels like
It's going up
feels
and
like, oh no, the whole
down.
thing's
Breaking
crashing the
Bad
next
kills
day.
the chances of, like,
Everything's
wow.
going down, pull all your money away and all this, and I'm thinking to myself, is it really that, or is it? Do we look at? That's the thing. Do we look at the day to day? The week to week, or are we looking at overall? Because that's what they say. Overall, the stock market is always growing, but if you look at it day to day, you're freaking out every day that you're losing money. So it's like that's the thing that I hear commonly on
Toonami
social
Stonks
media.
keep going down.
Yeah. Come on.
They're
we need
finally
to
up again.
pressure 'em.
Toonami Stonks are up.
We're going again. Send them more money. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I like the schedule. Is it personally for me? No, but will I grow to like it? I have to because I have to live tweet half these things. So I will enjoy all of these shows to the point where I, you'll see me have pithy comments on like every single tweet that I send out.
I mean,
you've been enjoying Blue Exorcist, right?
yeah.
That's fun. I mean, I can say some funny comments with all that stuff. Lazarus was funny because I'm thinking, and there goes Green Goblin in the end, and because it was Green Goblin.
Yeah.
So I try to make some Spider-Man references, some funny stuff, but yeah, I can.
And we appreciate them.
Yeah, I can work with this. That's the point with it on the social media side. Will I enjoy watching these? Yeah, but don't be throwing the rerun of Primal up again for like the 5th time.
Oh no.
And don't be throwing
another
show. What was the other one that was on there for like the 5th? I don't know. They all ran together where I got tired enough where I just, just throwing up things from a year ago and just redoing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's fun. Aside from the social media side, when this was announced, at least someone on their marketing team is actually working and doing stuff. I want to praise them on that. Instead of just throwing up a thing saying, "Hey, here's the schedule for this date," there was actually a comment. So good job on you. You did good. I appreciate that.
Okay. Still think they could communicate better.
Oh,
they should.
They absolutely need to communicate a lot better.
If
They really
are
need
failing.
to.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
They will fail if you do not communicate more. You will continuously go down. You're not looking at your fan base. You're not looking at the people that made you who Toonami was. Because back in the day, I remember Jason and everyone saying, "We do not talk down to the viewers or these."
Now they don't talk at all to the viewers.
They say nothing. They're like, "Oh, hey, this new schedule is lit." And it's like, "Oh," and Sketches thinking it's it. They're bringing Fire Force in.
To do that,
like you have like other ones
like
going.
every other industry communicates with whatever segue media that they have. In that case, that's us. We serve that purpose.
Mhm.
Even if the bare minimum was communicating with us some intention, we could do all that work. We're doing it anyway. I just feel like it's such an inefficient way to do things. But yeah, we've already been down that path. I'm just leaving it there.
We talked about it too much.
It's just
Yeah,
it is a
but-
step. I just would like them to keep like, all right, so we're moving in the right direction. Keep going. You get the hang of it. You can keep going.
Maybe 2 sentences next time.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toonami needs to realize that if it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't even make it to the first year in 1997. We helped build this. We helped build the block. We stayed up all night, stayed up all after school. They know their audience, and we need that communication because that builds a strong relationship. And ever since the WBD merger thing, whatever, something must have happened where we don't have that communication no more. We don't have that lack of trust. What's the word? That trust again. We don't have that. We can't trust them no more. Not saying not no more, but we can't trust them that much because we don't have no faith in you. We don't have. It seems like we don't have no faith in y'all no more because y'all don't update us on what's going on. Like I know there's a lot of things that y'all can't say, non-disclosure. There's stuff that you can't say, but give us a emperor of hope that things are looking up. Yeah, we may, just stick with us. Just stick with us. We're gonna have something down the pipe. Just something something that can keep us interested in the block. Because that lack of communication is really hurt. I don't think it's really severely hurting the block, but it is definitely taking a toll on us. And I hope that this is the start of where we can get that communication back.
It's a shame they just don't have. Oh, it's just a shame that before we had Toonami Free Flight, before Jason was pretty active in responding to comments.
I
from
miss
Toonami fans.
Toonami
Free Flight was so
He
nice.
did and the
Yeah,
Ace and
I love
Q&A with
3-5.
fans. Yeah, it was a great pod, great stream show too.
Honestly, I don't think
But
Jason's that involved with Toonami
No,
anymore.
I don't think so.
Done.
no, I mean he's
He's moved on now.
much higher executive in WBD.
Yeah, and
overseeing
good for
much more
him.
things.
That's
But
great.
what I'm saying, yeah, it's a shame that there was no one to carry that
Mhm.
torch, and there's just not that level of interactivity
Mhm.
with the fans from like Toonami and people working with Toonami. Just
Gil's just
directly,
a
like they
quiet
have
guy,
the
keeps
Facebook.
to himself.
Yeah, I mean they have the Facebook page, which like maybe posts like something every day or every couple days, but you know
Mhm.
that's
I mean,
really
even if you
it.
go back
There's
to the
just-
pre-major internet days, we'd have Moltar saying, "Yeah, look, I know we've got reruns. I know that burn chip, but we've got plans in place. 99's going to be a party." Something simple things.
Like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
The most we got this time was the little commentary of Tom and Sarah being like, "Yeah, we need a full system reboot and some joint lube." Like, man, I feel like that is them communicating. It's like, we get it, but here's Fooly Cooley
Yeah.
grunge.
But they don't really address any fans. They
No.
don't respond to fans. That's the thing, right? So it's
No,
like
they
they
don't.
just make these announcements every couple of weeks whenever there is a schedule update, and then they post like things, but there's no actual interactivity going on between
Yeah.
like the people behind Toonami, who is like running Toonami right now, and the fans. And so I think that's a shame.
We all remember the Tumblr days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Those were fun, though people asked a lot of stupid questions.
And I think,
Yeah.
in large part, they've kind of become complacent with the fact that there's such a strong community around Toonami. You know, multiple groups who like cover Toonami, do podcasts on Toonami,
Yeah.
tweet about Toonami. That like they're like, okay, well, the community is doing it by themselves, like spreading this information and covering our stuff and promoting our stuff. That we don't really need to do that much for something that we're getting paid, not really being paid extra to do on top of our other duties at Adult Swim. So you know, it's just a shame, though. I think that they are
Then
like,
at least
well,
keep
we're leaving
us
it to the
informed.
fans. Yeah, what they should, you know, you guys are really being used for like free marketing, honestly, and they really should collaborate with you more to be like, hey, we're gonna
Well, and if
use
we knew what was
we're
going
gonna give
on,
you a
we'd
press
spread the
release
word.
for things that are going on news alerts, so that you're like prepared for when
Yeah.
able to like talk to things, talk about things like as soon as they're ready to be revealed, or like share information like from them through you directly. So yeah,
Be nice.
Oh, we have Blue Exorcist,
The lack of
so I'm happy
communication
for now.
is
Yeah.
very frustrating.
And everyone should
Yeah.
watch
Yes.
it.
Now I got
We're happy
Everyone
for
should
now.
watch it.
I'm actually
yeah.
super happy that out of nowhere I will have 3 episodes that I have not seen,
For a
all airing on
sketch
Toonami every
that
week.
I've seen something that you haven't seen. This will be a first for the two of us for sure.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
So kind of makes me glad that I think I only watched 1, maybe 2 episodes of Thousand Year Blood War, because it was like, this isn't coming to Toonami anytime soon. Let's just check out an episode. I was like, oh, this is pretty neat, but I never got back to it. I think my Hulu subscription ended at the time. And I'm also glad that I didn't get around to Blue Exorcist Kyoto arc yet. So, yay for me! Three shows plus, you know, I'll watch One Piece, and shoot, I'll watch those reruns too. So, I can watch this whole block and have a good time, which I could not say for a good chunk of.
Even though I have
this
seen
year.
absolutely all of this, it's all really good stuff and worth rewatching.
That's good too. That's good too. I will say, I'm sad that Dr. Stone is not back, and I'm about ready to give up on waiting.
I guess they let you down, unlike what the intro says.
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched the intro either.
Aww.
I might have watched
The
intro. But I don't
intro
remember
very
anything about
pointedly
it.
says, "We won't let you down."
So much for that. Now, I have seen people throw out the theory, well, they're just going to wait until there's more episodes of it, but that's not how they did it before. They just ran whatever episodes of Dr. Stone were available that season and then played the next batch as soon as they could.
I could almost understand them waiting to finish the season, but that season's done. No, yeah, it's a half season.
I was holding out.
There,
I was holding out for May, and it's not here. So
a spot for it now.
I'm just gonna watch it.
I think when Lazarus finishes its run, maybe we'll see something else at that point. So I don't know. I mean,
possible.
I mean, who knows? Like, yeah, are there a couple of these like Demon Slayer and Dr. Stone and Mashal season 2 that we have already seen previous seasons of that would make a good time slot fixture? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not gonna complain about something that I don't have a reason to complain about yet. I feel like we're in a good spot right now. For once, it's been a while since I could say that, but yes. So
Yeah,
let's be appreciative.
Well, the thing,
let's be appreciative.
So this is the good news. They probably have 26 episodes of Bleach, and they probably have 24 episodes of Blue Exorcist, the next two seasons of Blue Exorcist. And that basically gets us to December. Boom. That's the rest of the year. Of course, we already paid for it with 5 months of basically nothing. And my one concern is in all of that time, they didn't just find something random to toss on that they paid for. I mean, they threw on Common Side Effects, which was good. It's a good show. It's a good filler. But why not hit up Sentai or Viz or somebody and be like, hey, can we get like a 12-episode show? We got nothing. They didn't do that. And I'm still very concerned that has more to do with them refusing to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And just holding off their money and resources, waiting for another big shonen. And I do theorize they were counting on Daima. They were counting on My Hero. Neither worked out. So they're like, well, can we get Bleach now?
You know,
because I'm sure they tried to get Bleach before and we're told, no, you cannot.
I feel like either of those will show up 3 years from now on the plot.
Oh, definitely, likely. Daima could be in October. Could be a year after. I could see it.
Or
Daima could come in and replace Lazarus.
Maybe they're just waiting to finish off on Crunchyroll first. And then when it's no longer premiere.
Yeah, I mean, same deal with all these other shows.
A couple more weeks of the dub left to be released. So maybe when they're all out on streaming.
Lazarus will finish well after that, so
yeah,
we will see. Also, in the press release, they implied that they would air Lazarus Japanese language on television, and they don't seem to be doing
I would
that.
Watch it.
Well, maybe when it ends and they do the rerun will be the.
I watched
Japanese.
the Ninja Kamui.
I mean, that'd be fine.
I'd watch it.
But like the press release specifically said they would do it 30 days after, and they're putting it on Max like not 30 days, more like 20 or less. So I don't know. Something must have changed. Things do change from press releases. They're not always held in stone, as it were, but they had a perfect opportunity here to toss it in. They could have extended the block. They could have gone down to 1 episode of One Piece. I don't know. But you might be right. They might just wait until Lazarus dub ends and then be like, hey, here's the sub now. Hopefully not at midnight.
No.
Because you got Bleach now. Don't waste that. And for
Yeah.
the love of everything good and decent, Adult Swim, you are wasting the fact that Family Guy is back by sticking an hour of Rick and Morty between Family Guy and Toonami. Stop it. Play Family Guy closer to Toonami, please. That was a winning combination.
Absolutely. Now I do have to ask. Since we got these 2 new shows coming in May 17th, do you think there is a possibility of the block rebranding? Because we have this look for like about since 2020.
I would like that, but I don't know
2021.
if they're gonna.
No. They don't
Yeah.
care about
I thought if a
rebranding.
rebrand was going to happen this year, it would be with Lazarus.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't rebrand, but we did, thanks to JP. He made us some slick new graphics.
Yeah.
Somebody should
You're
be.
looking at them right now.
The
Yeah.
best in the
If
biz.
you're watching the stream, you're looking at them right now, baby.
Yeah. First of all, I want to shout out my friend Lyric. We combined and helped with the logo, and the design. I just felt like the old logo just needed a change, and
Well, it's
he
been
also
500 episodes, so yes,
yeah,
thank you.
exactly. And speaking of 500, the 500 logo that I made for the episode was a teaser to the new logo. So
That was very nice. My father saw that logo and thought it looked very nice. Pass that along. My father listened to the entirety of the 500th episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing?
Sweet.
He also found what Dana had to say very interesting. So cool.
Nice.
It was a great interview. If you have not listened to our 500th episode, please listen to it because Dana says some fantastic things. It's well worth your time. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Darrell is in the
Holy
chat.
shit, it's Darrell.
He says, about damn time we got Bleach
Yeah,
back."
I had a feeling you'd say something like that.
Don't worry, babe. We will definitely have you on to talk about Bleach when the opportunity arises. We definitely will do that. I didn't think you'd be like home right now, so I didn't invite you to this. If you want to get on Discord right now, you can.
Join us, Darrell.
Get in here. You can do it from your phone. It's fine. Yeah. Fun stuff. But it is a good lineup, and I do want to caution, like 5 premiere episodes a week probably won't last. I'm honestly shocked that we went from 2 shows in premieres to 4 just like that.
Yeah.
I really thought the most we were going to get was 1 new show when both Common Side Effects and Blue Exorcist ended, and it was probably going to be Blue Exorcist Kyoto arc. Well, no, they brought out a showstopper.
Did. I did not have Bleach
they
on my
went-
bingo card, but I'm glad it's here.
Nobody did. No, nobody was thinking that. People were thinking that like 2 years ago, like maybe Bleach now, and everyone was like, I don't know about that. And now, like nobody thought about that. Nobody.
But
Darrell
everyone
won't be
liked that.
joining us next time, baby. Next time. Yeah, it's good though. It's good. We already paid for it, so let's enjoy the fruits of our patience.
Indeed.
Boy, we paid for it.
We paid for it for a long delayed wait.
It was like half a year of not much. Like, if you really think about it, even back when Invincible Fight Girl was in premieres, it was only like 3 shows in premieres.
Yep.
And then when that ended, we had 3 marathons. And then not much going on all of this year till now. It was rough. It was really rough. But we're here. We made it.
We survived.
We can be happy again. You can smile again.
You can smile again.
Yeah.
I mean, this was nuts enough that even my co-host on my podcast noticed it. because he was watching him in Light Girl with us, and he's just like, "What are they doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. We went to poverty to richness, and can't complain. It
That's what the stock
might
market
not
does.
be your ideal lineup, but it's certainly an eventful one.
It's a lineup.
Fest, though, I'm looking forward to a future in which it won't be just shonen protagonists. Please.
I know that's such a sticky point. And we got Lazarus,
Yes.
which includes
Then
3 adult
yeah, I
protagonists.
like that. It's a mixed cast. I just
And we got Sailor Moon bringing up the shoujo at the very end. But yeah, it's Weekly Shonen Jump Walk.
That is a big part of
Oh.
Toonami's DNA.
Yeah. Well, Blue Exorcist is Jump Square. So.
Yep.
a little offshoot, but still, it's
Still in the family.
It's still in the family completely.
Manga's
and
still on
entirely.
the Jump app.
That's
it's
where I
all-
read it.
Oh,
it's
hey,
all
we got a
good.
Johnny Young Bosch hour.
Oh my
One
god!
where we really like him, and one where not so much.
Gosh, you're right.
Power Ranger Power Hour.
Back to back Johnny.
Heroic Johnny and
Oh, Johnny to
toxic
Johnny.
relationship Johnny.
Johnny and Johnny.
Better Johnny to Johnny than the Johnny. There was a short-lived block where Cartoon Network or Johnny Test and Johnny Bravo back to back.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
right.
I liked half
I
of that.
forgot.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It was nice that Johnny Bravo was on at the time. A show that they do not dare play now, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
To be very sad. Johnny Bravo was so fun.
It is so. It's a wonderful show. If
Put
you
it on rewind.
think it's
Put it on,
problematic, then you
Checker Pass.
don't understand it at all.
At all.
He's not supposed to be a role
don't
model. That's the
get it.
point.
He's not supposed to
We
be a
get
role
to
model, though he can be a
Off
very nice guy.
topic. Let's get back to the lineup. Are there any other thoughts about this new lineup that anyone wants to share before we do some house cleaning?
It's good. They're correct. It is pretty lit. But it could be more lit. Just saying.
Perhaps if they get that, they'll just go from being lit to being fire.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I like it. Oh, Darrell is here.
Hey, he's alive!
Hey. Just barely.
Oh, we're
man.
glad you could take a moment.
You know, I had to come on for at least.
Yeah, you gotta be here because Bleach is back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man! 1,000-Year Blood War, man. It's gonna
It's
be
so
lovely. I
good.
mean, I held out hope. I mean, then you got Jesus bringing in Lazarus, so.
Speaking of Lazarus, have you had a chance to watch some Lazarus?
Not really, man. Between working out and diving, man, it's kind of been,
Fair. It's worth your time if you get a chance.
I wasn't sure. I was kind of playing. I'm up on that song, man. But from what I've seen with the first episode, man, I'm impressed. It's definitely got like a bebop feel, but like a little bit more modern spin on it in certain ways. So it's got potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just loving it, man. I haven't really had a chance to really watch Toonami a lot, man, but this actually wants me to come. This actually is an incentive for me to actually start watching again on the weekends, man. So
yeah, let's go.
I mean, hey, Bleach is back, so we get some Bunkais, we get some Ichigo, some Renji, some Man, we getting some of every damn thing, man. We actually eating good, man, for once. I mean,
Yes,
we didn't got
after
off
starving.
bruh. The starvation was ridiculous. I mean,
It was.
I have
We were
seen
starving,
better.
and now they have invited us to the cookout.
Yeah, we actually gotta like, hey, I say this, man. Don't put no fucking raisins in a potato salad.
I
Or
would
we gonna have some
never.
goddamn
I
problems. We're
would
gonna have some
never,
problems with that
sir.
one. Yep.
No, that's a party foul.
Seriously.
No way.
Yeah, dude, that is beyond the party foul, man. I wouldn't even let your ass in the goddamn cookout on that. Like seriously. You would not even be allowed to bring paper products at that point. You could pass
Okay.
by the house and just get a whiff of the
Okay,
cookout
okay,
air.
okay, okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay, we're having fun here. But we got to wrap up.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to do
all
the
good.
spiel. I'm going to do the spiel. You can email us at podcast@ToonamiFaithful.com. You can follow us on Facebook.com/ToonamiFaithful Podcast and on Twitter @Toonami Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify. And you can find every episode of the podcast to stream online at SoundCloud.com/ToonamiFaithful Podcast. And get the latest news by following @ToonamiFaithful.com on Blue Sky and @Toonami News on Twitter. And read the news, views, and reviews on ToonamiFaithful.com. She isn't with us this evening, but if you want to hear Yumiko's thoughts on Lazarus, you can read her weekly recaps, which are on ToonamiFaithful.com. Okay, we got a lot of people in here, so JP, tell the folks where they can find you.
They can find me on Twitter. They can find me on Threads. They can find me on Blue Sky, JP Reckless 2444. Once again, it was a good time. It was a good time. We designed your logo for the podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it.
We sure did.
Right. It's fresh.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
It is very pretty.
I'm losing my train of thought. Lum, where can they find you?
You can find me at LumRanmaYasha on social media, like X Twitter, the website formerly known as Twitter, as well as Blue Sky and Letterboxd. Wherever there's LumRanmaYasha, you'll find me there by that username. You can read my reviews and find my podcasts and the interviews and convention coverage I do over at MangaMavericks.com. We are a podcast, a website that is dedicated to discussing manga as a medium and as an industry. And now we have also recently announced our new publishing division, Manga Mavericks Books, which will be dedicated to licensing and publishing indie manga in print in the US and overseas. So we announced our launch slate, our first 3 titles, and we're also partnering with Red String Translations to distribute and print their titles in the US as well. And yeah, so that's an overall a launch slate of 6 books that'll be coming out in July. You can find the press release and more information on our website, as well as the most recent episode of the Manga Arts podcast, where we, Lord, and Victoria from Red Sting discuss, how we got into going into publishing and the plans for Manga Arts books in the short term and in the near future.
Definitely gonna listen to that.
Yeah, check all of that out. I'm sure the next time V-Lord or Sakaki are on the show, because both of them really spearheaded and have been the driving forces behind us going into publishing and this endeavor. Hopefully, the next time they're on the show, they can talk more detail about it. But yeah, you can go to our website and listen to our latest Manga Arts episode to find out more. And we're really excited to share more information for you soon. You can follow Manga Mavericks on Twitter and social media at Manga Mavericks. You can find our website. You can actually pre-order the books right now on our new online store. So you can find a link to that on our website as well. It's so that is all very exciting. And then in terms of like, if you like the art I make, like the illustrations I draw for our podcasts, and the animations and illustrations I do in general, you can find that on my Instagram at @SidArtworks.
Thank you. That's a tough act to follow, Laser, but you can try.
I can try. Well, you can find me on Twitter at LaserKid Prime. You can find me on Blue Sky at LaserKid, and you can find me on my podcast, Simuldub Saints. We are on Twitter and Blue Sky at Simuldub Saints, and the podcast itself is on YouTube and Spotify podcasts and all the places that pushes out to at Simuldub Saints.
Yes, and the most recently recorded episode is for Solo Leveling Season 2, and I'm on it!
Yes, you are. We literally just recorded that like right before this one.
We did. It's a double podcast day for me. Double podcast
Heck
all the
yeah,
way!
double podcast. Let's go.
So I messed up the order a little bit. So Steven, tell us where they can find you.
You can find me running Toonami's faithful social media accounts. But personally, if you want to talk to me, or I don't know if you want to talk to me.
Hi, talking to you.
Do. Hi.
You talking to me?
Yeah. You talking to me? Yeah, you can find me on X or whatever social media accounts. It's all over. I'm a mix that goes on all over. You find me talking about Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. That's me. Other than that, you'll see me live tweeting and live posting stuff on Blue Sky and on Toonami's Faithful on X, and yeah, having fun that way.
All right. And Kuro, where can they find you?
This is all I got. just this. Yep, that's it. I'm on Blue Sky, and I'm on Twitter at Happy Kuro Kitty. And if you have happened to have watched the new seasons of Blue Exorcist, I discussed season 4, which is the Beyond the Snow Saga arc with Laser on his podcast a few weeks ago. So check that out. Check out the Simuldub Saints if you want to hear that. And if you haven't seen it, don't listen to that episode because it gives you all the spoilers.
Spoilers! Spoilers everywhere!
Yeah, but definitely watch Kyoto Saga. It's so good. So good. Sketch, where can they find you?
Fantastic.
Well, you can find me at Sketch1984 on Twitter and look up Sketch1984 on Blue Sky. And since he is here, Darrell, where can the folks find you?
As always, you can find me at ukami_samurai7 at twitter.com. You can find me at ukami_samurai75 on Blue Sky. And as always, you can always find me under the sea if you can follow, or somebody's bar at some point. But
I was waiting for that. I was like, oh, is he going to say
Yeah.
you could find him under the sea now instead of in a bar? Nope, there it is. There's the bar. Under the sea
You
in
can actually
a bar.
find me in Davy Jones
hanging out with
Locker, which is
Aquaman.
actually a bar these days. Yeah,
Oh, all right,
I gotta
all right,
say,
all right.
it's a lot of fun, man. But it's good to be on a little podcast, even if it's just for like a little brief cameo. Also, Laser, congratulations to you on your podcast again. And Manga Mavericks, company, y'all, congratulations, and just good to be here for a little brief second, man.
Yeah, we really missed you for the 500th episode. We'd love to have you on.
Was I on, or I was on, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, you were.
I don't even
Oh,
I mean,
well,
I
this
couldn't
is
stay, but I was
this-
on.
You couldn't stay, yeah, but you were on, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, my brain is. Maybe
It's
I can
all
cut
right,
that out and
man.
sound like less of an idiot. That is the power of editing. Speaking of the power of editing, Paul could not join us this evening, but he does
one
definitely
cares.
want to. He definitely wants to talk about this schedule and probably his various theories. And maybe I can find somebody else who wants to talk about things. I'm sure there's somebody. So we might record something there, and yeah, I figure we'll probably record something. And I'll just slap it at the end of this. So you get 2 conversations about the schedule, lucky listener, if you can tolerate it.
It's Paul. I don't think.
Because we have I can admit 7. We currently have 7 people on this call. It was 6, but now there is 7, which is a new record. Except the summit, I think we had 8.
That's summit.
You should listen to the summit, which is not great in retrospect, but we were really feeling the pain at the time. I do look forward to, kind of touching base on how things are going. Probably not in the near future, but maybe a little later in the summer. We'll see. We'll see how we're vibing by then, once Lazarus ends or whatever. We'll see. But it's good right now. It's good, and let's enjoy it. Again, we already paid the debt. Let's enjoy the benefits. So, thank you all for listening, whether you tuned in live. We've been recording these live the past several weeks as we covered Lazarus week to week. And just a little tease, Kuro and I are kicking around the idea that because we have these 3 big premieres, maybe we should talk about each of them every week.
Gold.
It's a lot.
Cool.
It's a lot. But we used to do it. Like, let's kick it like it's 2014, 2015. Let's go. 3 recaps. We'll see if we can keep up with it. We have a plan.
We do.
It might not be a good plan.
There's a plan.
But I think it's at least a pretty good plan.
We had the fun part is that we figure this out in advance. So we don't sound completely clueless by the time we get to recording.
And yet, sometimes we still feel completely clueless by the time
We're just doing our best. Yeah.
We're just doing our best. This isn't our day job. We got day
Yes.
jobs.
Yes, we do. But we appreciate your patience. And if you have a preference to going old school and having a weekly recap of the 3, let us know. Or if you like our current model where we clump a few episodes together, let us know. The more feedback that we get, the better we can do for you all.
Yes, we would definitely appreciate your feedback on that front. I know some people like it when we cover multiple episodes at once, but I feel like, 1, those conversations go really long, and 2, like, because we're not covering it week to week, we kind of gloss over some things, and it's not really in the moment. So I don't know. It's sometimes you just gotta do it out of necessity. And like next week, next week, both Common Side Effects and Blue Exorcist Season 1 will end. And for a moment, we're like, oh, shoot, they end the same week. How are we going to do this? We're going to offset it by a week, or we do all at once? And we have the solution. Thanks to the marathon, we can just talk about one of them one week and talk about the other the next week.
That's solving the problem.
That's one benefit to the marathon, at least. It saves us some hassle. Yeah. Good. Very, very good.
So I think it's a good time to wrap up.
Yes. Again, thank you for listening. We really appreciate your listenership. Be sure to share the show with your friends if you think they'd be interested. And until next time, we're still number 1.
Shining brighter than the sun.
Deuces.
Okay, so we're back from yesterday. Paul couldn't join us yesterday, and I figured, hey, let's get Colt in here. I'm sure he has some thoughts on this schedule update. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let these guys have at it. Paul, let's start with your thoughts.
Oh, let's see. Let me bring up notes. Oh my god, yes, Paul is prepared. Holy shit.
First time for everything.
So I think I can safely say that I was right that the budget has finally re-upped. I saw that you said, I don't know if I think you might have said it to me in between the lack of sleep. I don't know. I think you had said to me, or you said on Twitter, or both, that this might have been the whole budget for Bleach.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know if I'm.
Right.
Go ahead, Colt.
I would. Okay, I could see that as a coin flip. I
Yeah.
could see them having wasted the budget on it, but it's so early in the year.
Yeah.
There's a potential for an October, maybe like a like a fall winter show acquisition. I'm on the doubtful side because I feel like this is more of a Demon Slayer moment, but it is what it is. I mean, at the very least, we have 3 premieres on the block technically currently, so I'm not gonna like be overtly like angry at this one. It's like, okay, cool, we got it. Like 2 to 3 years too late in my opinion, but at this point, what are they gonna do?
So basically, like, what? First of all, I don't see Toonami just picking up Bleach and then being like, "Oh, by the way, that's it for the year. Have a nice day." I don't see them doing that. Could that be what's happening? Sure. Before I came on here, the thought crossed into my mind. Wait a minute. Was this what they were waiting to put on? And maybe they thought they were going to be able to have it in what, January or February, and it just didn't happen till now. I mean, that's a possibility.
I would
I
see
still
it
think-
being more. I would see it being more they were being forced to wait until the last season comes out.
Yeah.
But
I do
the last core isn't out yet.
No.
Close enough. I mean, I don't know. This seems to be like the same situation with MHA, where like they got some off deal contract made and they were able to get it.
I mean, I'm more of the thought process that this is probably they were able to, how do I put this? Like, Viz probably wanted it on TV. So they were, the minute that they were able to do that, because obviously Disney and Hulu have exclusivity to this, they put it on Toonami, because obviously it makes sense to not only put it on Toonami but Adult Swim. It was there for years. It just makes sense to put it back on there. Now, does that mean that after it plays, it's going to stay there? Who knows? But, you know, I find it interesting that of all the shows, this is what showed up first. And again, by the way, when I say that, I don't want anybody out there to go, "Oh, well, you know, what do you mean, Paul? That's still a good thing." No, it is a really good thing. I'm excited to actually watch Bleach and watch it on Toonami. But, you know, it's kind of like, well, what about these other shows out here? You still haven't played the last season of My Hero Academia. There's a new season, well, the final season on the horizon. You know, so there's that. Dr. Stone's out there. Fire Force just started, and then we found out, which Crunchyroll has a really terrible way of dropping news. that the English dub, I think it started last Friday. What was last Friday? I think it was the 18th. So, and that includes the English dub. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, you got Fire Force over here. And yes, I know the evil empire has control of everything, but if they are on the committee and they do have rights to play it, who knows? But I mean that's out there, so that could still play. I honestly think out of anything, Fire Force, we'll probably see Fire Force and Dr. Stone this year before we see anything other than any other show out there. It's interesting that they're allowing Blue Exorcist to play. I shouldn't say allowing. Allowing's a bad word. It's not allowing. It's what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, that's Aniplex. You know,
yeah.
They have their autonomy. I think Demon Slayer is probably going to air before the movie comes to theaters in September.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
we
there's
still have one more season of that before the movies. You're right.
And it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And while I kind of feel like it's almost pointless to just play those 8 episodes and probably pay a lot to play those 8 episodes, they're not particularly popular.
No.
But I mean, the cross promotion is really good. Playing those episodes before the theatrical in September makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't see Bleach being the only thing, and Blue Exorcist season 2 being the only thing that Toonami picks up this year. That would just
mind you, Bleach is probably the first 26 episodes, the first 2 segments.
Yes,
and
just
that
the first
gets
2?
us. Yeah, I don't think they got all. I don't think they got all 3 yet. Maybe. If they got all 3, then I mean that's going to go into next year. But if they even if they only have the first 2, that gets us to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Blue Exorcist similar if they have at least the next 2 12-episode arcs. That also gets us basically to the end of the year.
Blue Exorcist is all the way done, isn't it? Or it's up to season 4, but not sure what's dubbed.
It's currently airing a season. Or I think maybe the previous... I think the spring season just ended. I don't think that is the end? I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
Because I know it has 4 seasons, and I'm thinking they got everything. At least for Blue Exorcist, but maybe I'm wrong. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either with that.
It's possible, but I mean, they only got that one 12-episode run of Mashal, even though the other 12 were available.
True. Good point. I don't want to consider that because that just makes me angry.
I really hope that Mashal pops up sometime this year. I'm
sure it will. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see when the rights for Sailor Moon and Naruto expire. If number
they
1
make it past May, that would be something.
Yeah, so I mean, out of the 2, if they're going to keep something, I hope they keep Sailor Moon and keep going with it because that would be great. Move it up.
More likely they'll keep Naruto.
Oh no, I wouldn't. Oh no, please don't.
People watch Naruto.
Yeah, but I think
Sailor Moon's always done well.
So does Sailor Moon, though.
Yeah, but we've never had confirmation from Jason that that's been the case.
We've had no confirmation that Sailor Moon was doing well, and you think they'd stick it at 3 a.m. if it was doing well?
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I really like having Sailor Moon around, and I really want Sailor Moon R. And hey, maybe they'll take a shot with Sailor Moon R just because they can work out something affordable with Viz. I hope that's the case. But if not, they gave it a shot. Didn't resonate with the audience. Bummer.
We'll rate, but I mean, keep in mind,
Rewind did not help in all that matter.
Bleach, they gave him Bleach, so I mean, I have no
Oh
idea.
yeah, they're still definitely working with Viz. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
saying otherwise. They are absolutely in bed with Viz. I mean, they got Rooster Fighter coming. That's a Viz co-production. They're definitely still working with Viz.
When is the next original supposed to come out? That was going to be my next question.
That is a good question.
I don't think they've said anything on Rooster Fighter as of yet.
Yeah.
No, we'll probably get something about Rooster Fighter at the. I know there was a. No, there was another anime convention that the creator of Rooster Fighter was going to attend.
Yeah.
I forget which one, but it should be coming up, I think, or maybe it already happened. I don't know.
I don't think it
They
did.
sure didn't say anything at the panel I went to.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Well, so I mean, it really. So I guess
the real question is when's Primal Season 3 happening? Because I think that's sometime this year, but it might not be until October.
Yeah,
I'd see that being October.
So here's my thing. I figure once Lazarus is done, obviously it's going to repeat somewhere on the block. I think Bleach moves up, or something replaces it. Now, yes, I know Daima's coming in, and it's really weird because speaking of Daima, it's the English dub, it's been very quiet. Nobody's really talking about the English dub, which is really weird. But it's going to be interesting to see once that plays on Crunchyroll the full way through, if number one, it shows up on Toonami, and then number two, if that does show up, maybe that answers a lot of questions. And I'm not talking about just the question of did maybe Toonami have the rights to play it, and then Crunchyroll was like, fuck you, you have to pay more money. Or I shouldn't say Crunchyroll, I should say Sony. Or, and by the way, that also would explain the fact that it took them so long to dub it, and in the way that they dubbed it, because I know it's Toei, but still, they kind of dragged their feet a little bit on it, and it made more sense that this show was going to go on TV because of how they were dragging their feet, because they would have gone a little bit faster with it, is at least some of the theories out there. So again, it would answer a lot of questions if that's coming, as well as having Bleach there. So that'll be interesting. But
yeah, I wouldn't give up on Daima yet.
No, I'm not going to give up on that. I think that's going to show up. I don't see Toei not putting it on TV.
No,
so
that's a matter of when, not if.
Correct. So, yeah. And by the way, those Toonami promos are going to just be awesome. I'm just going to say it right now.
Oh, I can't wait for those. That Bleach promo. Oh, baby.
Bleach promo, Dragon Ball Daima promo, all of those promos are going to be so good.
They better cook with that Bleach promo.
Oh, I would be surprised.
I would hope they cook with it, but for some reason, something just tells me they aren't going to be given a whole lot of time because they're doing other things. But who knows?
Yeah, that is a concern. But
I would hope they at least give it the flair it deserves. But my thought process is I don't think it's going to be anything extremely special. It'll just be like everything else. But hopefully they might do an extended.
Well, I don't know if you guys are on Facebook at all, but the one thing that was interesting is when they announced this, they did it in, I can't remember what the tag was, but when they tagged Viz and they tagged the Blue Exorcist Facebook page, the official one, it was tagged in a way where it was like, huh, okay, that's interesting. I think it was not sponsored. I gotta, let me look here. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up while we're on stream. Because it was just interesting the way that they did it, because I was like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. And it's also weird because they didn't do it like when they did it, like it never showed. They never posted. Viz never posted it like on X or Blue Sky. So it was like, okay, does Toonami got to do all the hard work here, guys? Like, so let me see here. Let me see if I can see where that was. Of course, I have to sign in because, why not just make this easy?
This is all impromptu. I mean, what do you think was going to happen?
Well, Facebook is Facebook, so.
I mean, I think the only time I ever go on Facebook is for the Toonami announcements anymore. It's like, go up, see what it says. If it isn't already posted, it's just like, oh, okay.
Oh no, I'm always on. I'm always on Facebook, so it's not like.
Like I have Facebook, but it's like I more or less just exist within the realms of Twitter and Blue Sky anymore.
It just makes me laugh because it always asks me to like, do you trust this computer? And it's like, yes, for the 50th time.
I trust this computer. It's my computer.
Exactly.
I'm always accessing it from this computer.
Oh, that's how. Okay, so the way it's tagged, so it's Toonami and Blue Exorcist, and then it's Toonami and Viz Media. It's just like the way that they did that was interesting because you don't usually see that. Facebook and Instagram do this thing where you can ask, like when you tag somebody, you can ask them to share it on their page. And I think that's how it does it. So that was interesting to me because I was like, oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So
I want to ask you both this question. Was the wait worth it?
Since it's Bleach, yes.
I mean,
since it's Bleach, yes.
That's viewers' discretion. I just wish they would have gotten it a little sooner.
That's true.
My whole
I'm not
thing
talking
was,
specifically about Bleach. I'm talking about have the past 5 or so months of basically nothing been worth.
In that context, yeah, sure. I mean, considering the fact that we were like we knew it would be around this time, they would have to announce something.
I mean, they didn't have to.
I mean, true, but I guess considering Lazarus and then we get Bleach, it's Bleach and Blue Exorcist, which I'm still surprised they did that double burn and then dropped it after that certain point, which is like, okay, cool. I guess now we understand why. So it's like, yeah, sure. I mean, the wait was worth it. At least we have 3 premieres again. And I'll watch Bleach just because I want to see the later Blue Exorcist, so it works out in the way anyway, so.
We have 4 premieres, actually 5, but one is the same show.
I mean, yes, technically One Piece is still a premiere, even though it's so far in the back. I would assume it gets maybe about 100, probably less than 9, I'd say about 90,000. If you assume Lazarus getting a 141 on Tuesday being the only time I've ever seen that thing getting a posting on ratings. Because at this point, at this point, and I'll just keep this part quick, I'm probably done with the postings because outside of edge cases, it's like, Lazarus starts, you're not getting anything anymore. Unless it's like a rare moment
if you think
Lazarus...
Toonami's starved for content, the ratings numbers have been basically non-existent for months.
Yeah. Like, I was hoping Lazarus might push it back into the range of, hey, we actually get to post some numbers, but it's like, no, only episode 2. Okay, I'm not gonna hold, like, I'll wait for Bleach, and I'll just keep the numbers in check, but it's like, I'm not expecting a whole lot on that side, because if you're looking at best case, like, Lazarus is probably getting high balls 140 or less. Which means anything after that's probably going to be getting, in best case, 125.
So,
at a .005.
We've all had our gripes about, oh gosh, I can't believe they're playing Fooly Cooly Grunge, and basically nothing's happening, but do you think they did overall okay at stalling for getting something?
Yeah, I think they did what they had to stall.
Yeah.
But I think Colt would agree with me. Go ahead. Go ahead, Calden.
I
I'll
just
say what I was gonna say.
I just wish they would have said something rather than
Yes.
just like
Oh, we all
randomly
do.
throwing out these like I would have been fine had it have been like, hey, we're gonna put these two out, but we have stuff in the works. Nothing is said.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, just say anything about new shows in the work. Don't just throw grunge at the top of the fucking block and expect us to not be like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, so to that. So I'm still a believer here that something happened where something got yanked from underneath them. And again, I think, and I know I've been beating this
completely
dead
believe
horse.
that theory.
That wouldn't be surprising.
I've been beating this dead horse. I think it was Daima that was pulled from underneth them. I
think
don't
it
know
was
that for
Daima
sure.
and also My Hero Academia.
Yes, I do think that happened too. So, I think there was something there that happened, and it's bound to happen in this environment that we're in, where Netflix and Crunchyroll are basically just hogging everything that they can at this
Don't
point.
forget
mostly
Amazon
Crunchyroll.
Prime.
Well, no, Amazon Prime is like
Lesser extent, but there's a whole article I read where
I
it's like
think
3
they're-
Chinese holders.
I think they have like this little toe in the water right now. They don't have a huge foot in the water, but they have this little toe there.
I got a good announcement from Amazon. I mean, they're fronting the bill for a hell of a boss for Vivi, so I'm happy with them right now.
Well, right, but you understand
yeah,
what
but
I'm
some
saying.
folks are not too happy that you're gonna have to wait to watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Oh, come on. That stuff will get pirated faster than Blitz gets horny.
But the point I'm trying to make is like it's mostly Crunchyroll, Viz, and
Yeah.
and I mean I guess we're starting to see that Hulu kind of has some of this stuff as well, more or less with the sub than the English dub, but you know they have their foot there as well. So there's really just 3 there, and again, I mean it is what it is, and I appreciate Warner Brothers Discovery actually allowing Jason to play in the anime field and get these series, because guess what? They know there's a thirst for that. And when they hit the right button, like with the show that we have right now in Lazarus, it's you're gonna eventually hit gold. And I think they haven't really hit gold, but they've hit a very popular series, I think. So, it's I think right now they're trying to kind of just balance in this world that is very there's not a rhyme or reason at this point, and I believe at some point, and the only reason it hasn't happened yet is because Crunchyroll is playing nice when it comes to the sub with other streamers, is I feel like it's going to come to the point where someone's going to sue Crunchyroll and say, hey, I have to get your service in order to get all of these other anime because you're, and it's going to come back and bite them in the ass eventually. But
that won't be for a few years.
That won't be for a few years. Will Toonami still be around at that point? Who knows? I mean, Bleach,
considering it's a free wrapper, probably.
Yeah, and keep in mind we have Bleach, so now we're gonna go into the next year. So we know at least Toonami's around until that point. So that I can comfortably say.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but
yeah,
Bleach is some pretty good insurance.
I mean, you're not gonna.
It's unfortunately possible they might only have 13 episodes of Bleach.
Okay,
I don't think so. I don't think
I would be surprised.
I don't think they would have bothered to get it if they could only get that much.
Exactly.
No, yeah. I think they would have just because popular and demanded. But if that's the case, and it was only just the first like core / part or whatever you want to call it, I would absolutely just be like, bro, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't I think
At least we know they didn't waste our time for 6 months on a Blue Exorcist rerun for
Right.
nothing.
But you know,
I was gonna be
think-
so mad.
Yeah.
But
But
we got
I
it. We
think-
got Kyoto after all of these years.
Yes.
Go on,
So,
Paul.
It escaped Hulu jail along with Bleach.
I think they definitely because I mean this we've been doing this for years. I don't see them just picking up 13 episodes of Bleach just to be like, oh look, we played it. Have a nice day. No.
I mean, they did that with Demon Slayer.
So that's gonna happen. And again, I mean, if the budget is truly back open and they can play in the fields, and you know, it's not gonna be so restrictive, you know, and if they have their deals in place where they can, you know, weasel their way into playing some of these shows. I mean, I don't see us. I still see Toonami getting at least 2 or 3 more seasons for the year. 2 or 3 seasons. 2 or 3 more shows for the year at least.
I mean, depending on circumstance, I could at least see 1 to 2, considering
Yeah.
Bleach has gotten so early. It's just we don't know about Rooster Fighter. I could
Nope.
possibly see that being one of them, and I could maybe see one other show. Unless it's like they got a big boost to the budget, but I don't really see that.
Yeah,
No,
I would not count on a big boost to the budget.
No, and I think we have to keep in mind too that remember when we talk about a Lazarus or a Rooster Fighter or insert other anime show that they're currently working on.
Yes,
that we
yes,
don't
separate
know.
budget.
Separate budget. We got to keep that in mind. So when I'm talking about the budget, I'm talking about the main budget, not you know
Acquisition
whatever
budget,
the-
Acquisition budget.
Yeah,
acquisition,
so
not original.
you know, so
Just
you know,
yeah,
it's it is going to be very interesting to see if we get another original show, and if we get what other shows that we do get. I'm hoping that we get Fire Force season 3 because we deserve that.
Yes.
I mean,
Honestly,
we made it popular, so you know, I hate to say it, but Toonami made that popular, so you're welcome,
and
Crunchyroll.
I do think that Toonami actually did help make Fire Force more of a thing than it would have been.
Yes.
Which is kind of rare because that's not the case with things like Demon Slayer and My
Yes.
Hero Academia.
Exactly.
well, I'm trying to think. We didn't Fire Force.
It
We
was
didn't get it
basically a simuldub for the first.
Oh, okay, it was a simul.
Yes, it
Okay,
was.
I
It was
like-
didn't remember that.
It was like 2 weeks behind.
Okay, then yeah,
Crunchyroll.
that would also help, which is something that I wish we would be doing more often. But you know, circumstances are what they are.
Correct.
Because that would definitely be
Yeah.
the reason why it helped. Because I would also argue, to an extent, that kind of helped Black Clover. Because I think we were only maybe 2 months behind.
Yeah, I'm
After,
sure
like,
it did help Black
all
Clover a
the-
bit.
Which is why I've always been like, yeah, why are we waiting so like notwithstanding the obvious, this is where my argument of yeah, we got Bleach 3 years after the fact.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the Disney of the matter.
Right. Which again, I understand the Disney of the matter. I understand the mouth of the children on certain things. It's just like, really, like you couldn't have given at least season 1 to us like after like when season 3 started.
Hmm.
Evidently not.
Colt, it's a weird environment right now. Who
Yeah, that would
knows?
have
Oh,
been
I know
last
it's a
fall.
weird
Maybe
environment.
they tried that last fall and they couldn't
I
get that
mean,
to work. So they
That'd be
it's like
information I would
Aniplex. We
like
need
to
shows.
know. That would be
Aniplex,
stuff
we
that I
need
would
shows.
like to know, but that's the stuff that we also get in the rare, if almost non-existent interviews anymore.
Well, but you got to keep in mind too,
Mhm.
like you know, I think we talked about this earlier, so I wanted to come back to it. You know, Jason leaving social media has kind of left that communication hole.
Yes.
So now
Yeah.
we're all like hitting our heads on the wall, like what the fuck is going on? So, you know, this is why I kind of hated when people were like trolling Jason and all that other shit. And again, Jason in some ways didn't do himself any favors either. But it was just we lost that communication part, and now it's hurting us in the sense of we have no fucking idea what's going on. So in the off chance that we actually get an interview, you know, it's like the first question fired out of the gate is, what is going on with Toonami? Like, yes, we want to talk about insert show, but what is going on with Toonami? Can you give us any information? Because this is the first time we're talking to you in a while, and you're no longer on social media. So, you know, I know Sketch would be like, yeah, how have you been? That's great. What's going on with Toonami? That would be that would be one of the first questions he asks. I know.
Start off nice and then go into the point.
Yes.
Go
and
for
then
the
we'd be like,
jugular.
oh, yeah, and then it's like, oh, by the way, let's talk about the show that you're actually really here to talk about. So, you know.
Oh, I absolutely want to talk about Lazarus. Absolutely.
So, well, it doesn't mean it. I'm not just talking about Lazarus. I'm talking about, you know,
Oh.
Rooster Fighter or whatever.
Whatever we
yeah,
can
you probably can't say anything
magically-
about Rooster Fighter, but I mean the
Yeah.
real questions I want to ask her about Uzumaki, but that we're gonna have
God,
to
I
wait
would
for the
love to
tell-all
know
book.
that
Yeah, we're
story.
not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna even ask about that. We're just gonna keep that quiet.
You don't want to though.
I mean, I would want to
Seriously.
too, but I'm also completely fine with Paul making a ban on that if I ever got into one of those interviews.
So we're just gonna keep Colt over here on the side.
It's been on the side for 5 years. I'm still pissed off at the last one.
Anyways,
Either
getting back
way.
to what we were talking about.
Yeah, back on topic.
I think the only other thing I want to say about this is I'm really happy that Toonami was able to get Bleach back. It's a staple of Adult Swim, so it just makes sense for the show to come back onto the network, even if it is on Toonami, and not just Adult Swim.
That was the only show that got grandfathered in from ASA, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like everything else, but okay, that's what I thought.
yeah, I think that was the only show, and then it's to have that back is like, okay, now you're giving me some hope here that we're gonna have a better year going forward here. I actually did. I don't know if people have been seeing, but I've been doing memes and putting them up on the Instagram and sometimes on our TikTok page. TikTok sucks, but whatever. And I did one where it's I think it's from Zoolander 2, where he does that. He does that. What is it? It's like that look. They come up with different looks while they're modeling, and I used where like he made they came up with a new look, and everybody was like, "Oh, there it is," and I put the Toonami schedule behind it. This Toonami schedule, because I'm like, "Oh my god, there it is, a better schedule." So I am very interested to see where we go from here. Are we going to get Daima? Are we going to get Dr. Stone? Are we going to get Fire Force? Are we going to get something that we're not even thinking we're going to get?
Well, that's the one thing I always hope for.
Yes.
And to their credit, I guess Bleach counts.
Yes. I mean, at this late into the game, yes, Bleach would count because I would like Bleach at this point in time is My Hero Academia when we finally got it. Like after a certain point, it was just like, okay, yeah, no, we're not gonna get this, and hey, guess what we got? Da-da! And you're like, okay.
Well, and then
the heck you did, or like when Demon Slayer came back.
Same thing, really. It's
same
the same issue.
So I was gonna say Demon Slayer's out there. Mashal season 2. Hopefully we can get that as well.
Like,
I mean,
there's a list of at least like 5 to 6 we could, because it'd be Mashal, My Hero Academia.
Yep.
Rooster Fighter, Dr. Stone, brain's blanking now. God damn it, Daima. Thymia. That's 5 right there. I'm thinking I'm missing at least one more. Oh, Fire Force, that's 6. There's 6 like picks, and that could
Yeah.
potentially happen at this point. So
Yeah.
we at least have a decent number of hypothetical, like, within range grabs now.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the I was thinking about this too. I think the reason we didn't get Mashal season 2 might have had to do with the fact that Toonami Rewind, they took that off, so they obviously had to throw, those shows, those 2 shows on the
No,
block.
I don't think it
right?
has anything to do with that because
I don't think it like maybe, but that's low odds in my opinion.
they had to double up One Piece and they had to bring in common side effects and Fubi
Yeah.
Coolies.
Yeah, like
There
yeah,
was
like
definitely room for Mashal. I think they just didn't secure more than
Well,
that amount.
I was saying more or less. I don't think they had the money. Like they didn't have the money somewhere to go get season 2 because obviously that was separate.
I could
I
could
reason.
I
maybe
think they
see
had
that.
the money. They just decided to use it on other things.
They
True.
didn't have faith it would get the ratings.
No,
Mm.
I think Mash.
Despite it giving the
I'm
top
going-
slot for half of its run.
I'm going to use that evergreen statement meme as much as I can. Whether or not it's true, I don't care. I will throw that out there whenever I get the chance because that is the God, I love that
Well,
wording.
At least we know Bleach is a show that they're perfectly comfortable starting the block off with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I
What
mean,
will be interesting is if they ever have a chance where they have Bleach and Demon Slayer gets the top spot.
Bleach.
I think
Assuming
it'll
we
be
still
Bleach.
have it.
well,
Bleach.
no, I mean Bleach and Daima. Think about
Yeah,
that.
Daima too. Yeah.
Like I think Daima
Um,
gets the top slot, but I don't know.
I would-
I don't know that for sure.
It would depend on where we're at with Bleach and what we have. If we assume only
Mhm.
the first 2 and we're like late enough, like within like season 2, I'd say they leave Bleach up on top just because I don't see why you'd push it back. But then again, they've done weird stuff like that before.
And I don't think, just to throw an odd one out there, just because it's come off the Netflix board, and as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, I haven't seen an announcement of it being anywhere at the moment, but on the off
You're
chance
talking about
that,
the Voltron show?
yep, if they, on the off chance that they
That's
can get
gonna end
that,
up on Peacock if anywhere.
I mean,
You never know.
That's within the company.
it is, but I mean, I could actually see them putting that, like trying to license that out and see who would
Legitimately, I
put it on.
don't think that's on Toonami's radar at all.
No, probably not, but it to
It'd
me
be a
saying it
nice
wouldn't be
change of
good.
pace.
it would be. And again, you're bringing back a show that was one of its original version was one of the cornerstones of the first Toonami. So
Mhm.
it's like you can come full circle here and do something nice. Again, if it's expensive, why the fuck would you get it? I understand. It doesn't make any sense. But
It's
you know, it
technically a
would be
long
nice.
runner.
It is
It's
a
got
long
plenty
runner,
of
too.
episodes.
It is a long runner, so I do think that would be something nice, something like that coming out of nowhere. I would love to see, but again,
Fuck,
we
get that in
listed
the-
off.
Get that in the new He-Man. Let's just throw caution to
Yeah.
the wind.
God, this is a new He-Man.
that one's still somewhat active for Netflix.
Yeah, but we just listed 6 possibilities for this year that aren't on the block yet. So I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have
I
to
hate
wait
to
and
be a
see.
Debbie Downer, but I'm seriously doubting they're gonna get anything from Crunchyroll this year.
I mean, I
don't-
wouldn't put it past that, but there's also again the odds of, hey, we managed to work something randomly out.
So I don't think they're going to get something like My Hero Academia. I don't think they're going to get something like that. Daima, the only reason I say I think they're going to get Daima is because of
Toei.
the Toei. Yeah, so Toei, they can go around them and get it from Toei, and then Toei says, shut up and give it to them.
Yeah,
because they
but
paid
I'm,
for
I'm
it.
talking about Fire Force and Dr. Stone.
So Dr. Stone, What's the studio that they're through that they that,
EMS.
yeah. So that one I could see happening because it's through TMS. That was the back door that they used last time to get the last season.
We don't actually know if that was the case.
True.
Because at the time, Crunchyroll and Toonami were working together.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
That and there's a possibility that whatever they got with Hulu could have extended that far as well.
But see, the thing that, and this happens with any time that TMS is involved, they're the ones that are talking about it. Funimation is not. At the time, it was Funimation. So it made me think that
True.
maybe it's through them and it's not through Funimation
I
and
do think
Crunchyroll.
they're a bit more hands-on, but I
Yeah.
feel like Crunchyroll has the master license.
True, but again, that's one of those things we don't know about. So hopefully, and by the way, again, here's another
Objection!
show.
Speculation!
But
This is all speculation at this point.
Yes, it is.
I love that objection.
It's what we do. We speculate.
But here's the other thing too: is it's like, you know, oh God, I think I almost lost this train of thought here. Dr. Stone, like that show, for example, just that's another show. That's what I was gonna say. That's another show that I feel like Toonami, attracted a lot more eyes to as well, because I don't think Dr. Stone was kind of
Maybe.
on anybody's radar either. So
That and Food Wars, but Food Wars had a bit more of a push behind it, so it was nice to see two like completely
Yeah.
offbeat shows finally getting on the block after 6 years of just consistent long runners.
So I mean, it's and again, Fire Force. That's the other show too. Is are they on the committee? Are they not on the committee? If they are on the committee, they're probably going to play it at some point for season 3. It just means when is it going to happen? If they're not, then we're never going to see season 3. I think that one's just a simple one. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I kind of hope that's going to be on there too, because I enjoyed that series. I really did. I didn't get through all of season 2. I have to go back and watch it, and I'll have to go on the evil.
But
Well, actually, no.
regardless of all of that,
Yeah.
honestly, even if they got basically nothing else for the rest of the year, they're pretty well off with what they currently have.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
But
Bleach
we
will
certainly
definitely pull
hope
them out and,
for more.
I mean, yeah. I would absolutely. I mean, at the minimum, I hope for at least one more show this year. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, you probably pulled a Tanjiro with Ichigo again. I don't really like it.
I would be satisfied if they got at least 2 more shows. I would be satisfied with this year.
That's really all they need to do.
Yeah, that's really all they need
Besides,
to do.
As long as
1 or 2 more
Primal
shows.
is in there somewhere, that fills all of their slots pretty
And
effectively.
if they go above and beyond that, guys, like, I'm gonna look at them and be like, what's the line from Rick and Morty? You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I gotta be
So-
like, okay, well, this is nice and all, but why the 5 months of nothing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I would also question that too, and then I'd also be like, you know what, fine, whatever. We got all this shit out of it. I'm just gonna leave the question on the table to hopefully have somebody answer.
I just don't want the president to be said that every year of Toonami we have like half a year of inactivity. That is
I
not
mean-
ideal.
I honestly think
Uh,
what happened was again, there was some kind of show that they were supposed to get that got pulled from under them. Could be 2.
Yeah, but
I
that can
think-
always happen.
Well, right, but then I also think
Not having a backup plan is the
Worse.
clincher.
I think Toonami Rewind, because probably the budget included that as well. That kind of put a damper somewhere on something. But so it's those 2 things, I think, in my opinion, at least. But then it's also, Adult Swim also went out and got, what was it, Family Guy? Was it just Family Guy? I feel like there was something else they
Yeah.
got.
They worked out a deal for more Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, that's I think they were, because again, Toonami Rewind was, once that deal was made, I felt like Toonami Rewind was pulled right after that, basically. So I kind of think that was another thing where they were like, well, we're gonna do this to fill some space, and then if we get what we want, great. Toonami Rewind goes away, and they got what they wanted. So maybe this is another thing where they're like, well, we don't know what's gonna happen with Toonami. Let's see what happens, and then, oh look, Bleach. So who
That's
knows?
certainly something.
So
Jingle the keys. Here's Bleach. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Yeah, exactly.
We're losing them. Jingle the keys.
By the way, Sketch, I have a theory about something related that we can talk about off air. But yeah, I it makes sense about one thing. So I know I'm being vague about it, but I can't talk
vague
about it on air.
posting.
Paul's being sus.
So
Sus.
yeah,
Sus.
well, hey, what can I do? So
Stomping.
but yeah, I think I've kind of beat the dead horse here. So
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh
got
yeah,
nothing
for sure.
else.
We've practically talked for an hour, so.
yeah,
49 minutes at least from the time of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the state of Toonami is looking a lot better now.
No doubt
And
about that.
I'll end it with that. I think the
Yeah,
state of Toonami
It's looking
is-
up, but the next few months, depending on what happens, will be a judgment. Oh, and there's a like a bot in the chat you need to blow up, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh dear
There's
God.
a
what is
bot.
it?
The robots are infesting.
It's just a pay for streamers bot. Just nuke him. I think we're pretty much done.
I'll
are
I'll figure
indeed.
that out in a minute. I actually clicked off of there, so
You're fine. I just brought it up because it was just like, you know what? If he sees it, he sees it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We can just make a fun joke out of it.
I actually don't see it in the chat, so that's interesting.
It's probably because you just joined and the chat hasn't been updated. If you just look at the
Oh.
stream after the fact, you'll
Yeah,
probably see
scroll
him.
back.
Oh joy.
Don't just do it later. Just don't worry about it. It's just some.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Oh, by the way, for anybody that's listening, you're not hallucinating. There is a nice refresh of our Toonami Faithful Podcast logo.
Yeah, I had
It's a good
JP
logo.
on the main podcast to not specifically to talk about that, but I made sure he had a chance to say.
Yeah, JP Reckless and Lyric West.
Mm-hmm.
They worked on this. So, by the way, I didn't ask them to do that. So, awesome to them for doing it. But yes, going forward, you will see this refresh of the Toonami Faithful Podcast. Hopefully, fucking Apple's podcast will update the goddamn album picture instead of me having to go, "Hey, dumbasses, can you update this, please?"
Poke.
Oh my god.
Hey, Colt, we haven't really had you on to talk about Lazarus at all yet. Well, how you vibing with Lazarus?
Actually enjoying it. I mean, I still think episode 1 was in a rough spot, mostly because, and it's mostly from the artistic angle, because it really does feel like the backgrounds weren't meshing in with the characters in the foreground, because there were a couple of moments where I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing with this art style? But like episode 2 and episode 3 looked a lot better, and I'll be frank, it's actually been kind of enjoyable and amusing at times, because there are just some moments and jokes that are just like, there's like a single hearty out of me. It's like, okay, wasn't expecting that. And then there's like the philosophical stuff, like at the start of episode 3. Well, the adults didn't understand why we used Hopna. Really? Really? Oh boy. This is like going Gundam level sociopolitical at times. It's like, damn, okay, wasn't expecting that, but I'm enjoying it more so than I thought I would, because I think it's just like Stop. I don't even know how I want to say it. It's vibing to its own thing and it's working. So like, yeah, no, it's actually been very, very enjoyable.
I forgot to mention this in all of our Lazarus discussion in the main podcast that there's that great scene in episode 4 when the cop is getting attacked by the chunky cat.
Yeah. It was just bap. I was like, okay, that was a random moment, but sure. Yeah, it was just random cat attack on that one poor cop who got duped multiple times.
As Kuro calls him, he's the cabbage man, the cabbage salesman of the show.
Yeah.
Just can't catch a break.
I'll be interested to see how this ends, mainly just because it's the whole like 30-minute timer versus like last episode basically being a nothing, like for a plot purposes, a nothing burger. It's just like, okay, please like tell me whatever you got off of that guy was actually worth it, because I almost feel like, sure, I'm fine with the pointless like we accomplished nothing, but like have that tie back some in, because you got like 30 days and like goose chases are almost not needed. But again, the episode was still hilarious, if mostly just because I forget the one guy's name got picked as the cute girl that got in. Leland, yeah, I was just like, ha. It's just like, okay, that's a turn of pace. Thank you for doing that. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I want to see how this ends, and Bleach coming back. Okay, cool. Let's, everyone can be happy.
Also, if you guys haven't checked out our interview, please check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a fantastic interview. Yeah. We talked about things I definitely wasn't expecting to talk about, but I sure enjoyed the conversation.
I never get on the interviews.
Oh my god,
oh, well.
Colt, shut up.
What a whiner this kid is.
Yes, I am. Whatever. I don't expect it anyways. I just like whining.
Yeah, you'll definitely be whining
maybe someday when there's a person that we know you definitely want to talk to, we could maybe consider including you.
That's like 5 years from now.
5 years from now. I'm not going to be doing this in 5 years.
You are probably right. Well, we're at the 55-minute mark on the stream. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I pre-ordered a Nintendo Switch 2 because I don't know how to spend money.
At least you got one. I'm debating it, but I'm still waiting to see
how the... Wait a minute. You bought a Switch 2, yet you need a new computer?
I said I don't know how to spend money.
He did say that.
I'm going to turn into Liam Neeson and be like, I will find you, and I will kill you.
I just got my tax return, man.
So, you know what? Take that tax return and go buy a computer.
Yeah, I know. I need to invest in another computer. This one's becoming a problem.
Becoming more than a problem. It's becoming a nuisance, and I'm going to come up there and personally shoot it for you. And by the way,
Jesus.
I will go on the record to personally say that I said to Sketch that I will help you buy a new computer.
He did say that, but I mean, I don't really want you to like put it on your Best Buy credit card.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever.
I have my own means of paying for things in installments.
Shut up! I'll just send you money. There you go.
I mean, there's always the slower, but going for older parts and just building it for like $1,000, maybe $500,000.
I think Sketch
really should invest in a desktop computer at this point.
That's what I was thinking.
I've been going from laptop to laptop for years, and yeah, it's not working out.
If you're going to invest in a desktop, make sure you have it custom built, so it actually has a nice system. Don't just go to like Best Buy and be like, "Oh, look at that desktop computer. That might work."
No.
Yeah.
I know some people that can help me put something together.
Cool.
I'm just, it requires.
You know
effort.
how to spend money.
It requires effort.
Oh well, I think.
Or we'll just start poking you. Did you get one yet? Did you get one yet? Hey, Sketch, is the new podcast up? Did you get one yet?
I've been very consistent about releasing the podcast on Saturday
No, you
mornings.
have. You have. And I'm just being an ass because I'm just going to figure out ways to like poke you
That
into
said,
using the
it
computer.
has always been my intention to release it earlier in the week. But I kind of split the difference. Like, we record all these things live so people can listen to them before. They
Mhm.
can catch them live or they can catch the replay of the stream. So it's out there. You just don't get the finalized product until Saturday morning. But I would
Also a
like
nice
to
backup.
release it on at least Friday, if not Thursday. Especially since we're doing weekly recaps of shows and I want people to, have the chance to hear those recaps before they watch the next episodes. It's kind of the point. Kind of the point. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me for this additional conversation.
Yep.
I figured it would be good to get both of your opinions on this because we haven't had any substantial news in so very long.
I mean, if it's anything, it's, here's a stall tactic, and now if we finally get the one piece of the legitimate information, it's like, yay!
Yep.
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 Got a pop can.
Yeah, I'm drinking some Schweppes ginger ale because it's too
Okay,
late at night for Mountain Dew.
Are we gonna do like the sign-off stuff, or?
Yes, please. Colt,
Okay.
tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at AmbientVirus. Blue Sky is basically the same thing. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LifeVirus, where after having finally played through Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy, I was going to go on an Odyssey, but then I went on an Expedition because holy fuck, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is good. Like, less than 10 hours in, and I'm like, holy fuck, this game is awesome. Like, 30 devs, mostly ex-Ubisoft, they fucking nailed it out of the park. If you have the ability to play that game, go play it. And I'm going to be streaming it pretty much until I, likely 100% or at least get close enough. I need to find more mimes to beat up on.
Okay. And Paul, where can they find you?
Well, right after this podcast, I will be in my bed, hopefully sleeping. And the zombie will come out as I'm sleeping, going, yeah. And then that's what the CPAP controls. Anyways, see, I'm entertaining. I'm somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
You can find me on X and on Blue Sky just by searching Paul Pascrillo. You can email me, paulpascrillo@toonamifaithful.com. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I already said my spiel in the rest of the podcast, but if you need a reminder, Sketch 1984 on Twitter and Blue Sky. Yeah. So thank you for listening to this additional conversation on this already pretty lengthy podcast. Hope you found the conversation interesting. Hope it makes up for many, many months of not having a whole lot to talk about. Except for complaining. There was lots of complaining.
I mean, for me, that's almost always the case.
That's my secret, Colt. I only bring you on when it's time to complain.
And I do a great job. Thank you for
I
listening,
guess this is an
everybody, and
outlier,
have a good night.
actually.
And that's the way to end this. Have a good night, people.